Yes, guys. Yes, people. Welcome back to another live stream. Welcome back to another video. We're nearly at the halfway point of 2021. What a shit year, but at least we've won the Champions League, so we'll take that as a positive. Big up everyone who's locked in. Smash the like and subscribe button while you guys are on your way in. Let us know your thoughts on the topics that we've already put in the title. We're going to be discussing Hakimi and the latest news surrounding him, and it ain't positive, but we're going to go through it anyway. We're going to talk about alternatives. We're also going to be talking about alternatives to Erling Haaland as well, and we're also going to take a delve into the Rudiger article that came out in The Athletic a few days ago. First thing I want to say, Wayne, big up yourself. Safe for handling the stream yesterday as well while I was gone. Hope it was a good stream for you guys.
Yeah, we had a good laugh and joke. We celebrated his father's birthday, so yeah.
Thank you, people. Much appreciated.
Yeah, Fata, happy birthday as well, my guy. I hope you're having a good day.
Thank you.
No, I was going to
good.
ask. Yeah, we're all good. We're all good. Josh, what are you saying, bro? You all right?
Yeah, I'm doing well. How are you guys doing? A little early over here, but it's all good.
Yeah. Feels early for both of us, trust me. Scott, what are you saying, Matty? How's your weekend been?
It's been good. Last night was really good. Went out. I've had a good weekend, apart from work, but it's always the case. But yeah, been good.
Love to hear that. Andrew as well. What are you telling me, bro?
Yeah. Apart from the weather, it's been okay. Wouldn't know it's summer month here at the moment. It's miserable out there, but yeah, it's all good, man. 2 games today, which is start times today anyway, so that'd be good.
Weird. It's 4 games, but it's 2 at the same time, so you're seeing less than you would have in the group stage, regardless. It's techie, but it is what it is. Chris, what are you saying, my guy? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. Can't wait for the Euro games like Andrew. I can relax as well since my team's through as well. Just watch the rest struggle.
That's technically my team as well for the sweepstakes. So yeah, I'm half Welsh for the rest of the tournament. Big up yourself. Let's start off with the Hakimi news, and we'll just go straight into it. And over the weekend, we've been hearing rumours and stuff to come out from Fabrizio Romano as well, saying that Inter are waiting to receive new bids for Hakimi. Talks are still ongoing with PSG. Chelsea are offering players, but Inter want 80 million euros for Hakimi. And Inter are seeming to prefer the cash-only option when it comes to selling Hakimi, as opposed to having players be involved in the deal as well. And it's stemming from the 275 million euro loan from Oaktree earlier this year, where Oaktree took a 31% stake in the company as part of the deal. Now, the owners, Suning, retained their 68.5% stakes in the club, but also have to put their remaining shares up as loan collateral. So they need to pay their loan back in 3 installments over 3 years, or the owners will lose the rest of their shares in Inter to Oaktree, which is why they're pushing for cash only in this sort of deal as well. PSG are the front runners. I think they're the only ones that have made an official bid as well. We're still in talks. I think personal terms were agreed with Hakimi, but Hakimi's also preferring PSG to London. We spoke about this in past streams as well, and what was it? I think someone else said that the North African following is a lot stronger in Paris compared to in London, so they'd be a lot more comfortable there. Plus, Hakimi and his family would be a lot more fluent in French as opposed to English. They are more willing to go to PSG over London. And I feel like that's going to be the deciding thing between the two parties. Like, things are looking a lot bleaker when it comes to Hakimi joining Chelsea, and we could still go and push this deal through. It would all depend on if we just put the money up, and we know that we have the money to do it. It's just that we're also looking at so many other different options around the squad as well. There's a question of, are we going to prioritize getting this deal over the line? Because this is more done for Thomas Tuchel, because this is Tuchel's target. But we know the board and the players, not the players, the board and Roman Abramovich would rather we get Erling Haaland as a number 1 option. So that's going to be our priority as well. So it really depends on what we want to do, but I feel like it's kind of taken out of our hands already, because the preference is to go to PSG over to Chelsea.
Yeah, from what I read this morning, and it was like a post that I just been put out like a few hours ago, that Inter are currently negotiating with Alonso right now to see if they can get a deal done with him. And if they can agree to terms with Alonso, then the Hakimi deal to Chelsea could go through. So knock on wood. Hopefully, there's some truth to that. I read the report you were saying about Hakimi, and I think that was a French newspaper, right, that reported that.
Which one?
The one about him wanting to go, preferring France over London.
I think that was a French article. To be fair,
right.
I thought we were talking about the part from Romano.
I mean, I don't know. I think there's a lot to the deal, especially if a player from Chelsea is going the other way. I think Inter would prefer that because they need some fullbacks. And so I think there probably is some truth to that they're trying to. We know that they met with Zappacosta's agent to talk with him about a deal. I can imagine. I think Alonso was their priority always. So if it is true that they are negotiating currently with Alonso to get a deal done, then I could see once that is agreed upon, I could see the Hakimi part getting wrapped up pretty quickly to Chelsea. So I'm a little more optimistic about it, but.
Yeah, Eroc's saying something different on the super chat. He's saying latest Inter is willing to accept the cash and Alonso swap, but they first have to wait until they can sell Perisic before agreeing the deal. Where's your source, bro? Because I'm hearing from Fabrizio Romano it's completely different, and they want cash up front instead.
Yeah, the thing about Fabrizio
Perisic makes no sense.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about Fabrizio is he's not going to put out anything until it's double or triple confirmed. He's not somebody that gets a piece of information, just throws it out there. So the original statement from Inter was cash only. That is their original position. And they have not put out another position to say otherwise, as far as I can say, an official position, right? They might be doing stuff behind the scenes, but officially, they still only want cash. Does that mean they're going to get cash? No. Nobody wants to pay £68 million for Hakimi. Not PSG, not Chelsea.
Are PSG offering players in the deal?
No, they're just offering straight
cash.
70 million euro, but the first installment of that is not as high as Chelsea would pay. So it doesn't make any sense.
You, Ryan.
So it's just, again, you're gonna have every report in the world out. I mean, there was a report that they wanted that Chelsea were going to put RLC in the deal.
Yeah, but I feel like this is where it's just becoming rumors, and it's just any fringe player could potentially be part of the deal. The thing that made more sense was Sarri being interested in him because he got the best out of Loftus-Cheek probably in his entire career. That one at least makes a bit of sense. I was saying, okay, we'll give you a midfielder for a right wing back. I don't really believe that one.
Well, and they're already getting a midfielder in the exact position where Loftus-Cheek would play. His best position is further forward, and they're about to sign Çalhanoğlu.
They did. They are signing. That's a pretty much done deal.
Why would Loftus-Cheek want to join Inter Milan? That's his first and second thing.
Again, that's what I'm saying. You're going to see a bunch of reports come out that don't make any sense, or if it's something somebody heard from somebody else. And also, most of these reports come from one source, and people just glom onto them and make it like it's a new report. But it's the same report that came out about PSG. It was an on-air interview that the person who did the interview and said all these things had to come back and retract some of it or clarify.
From Chelsea's perspective, how much do we really want to pay Hakimi? From Chelsea's perspective,
I don't think we want to go over the Chilwell. I don't think we want to be seen to be going over the Chilwell deal.
Is it 80 or 70 max? What's the max? Literally, just give the max number. What's the max, literally?
Just 65 probably, plus Alonso.
Is that euro or a pound?
I'll tell you what, I would go for 80, you know. I would go for 80. I'd go for 80 million.
I don't care, because the thing is, him coming in means that Reece James can play at centre-back, which we're getting rid of Zuma and with Dave's age is needed. We've already discussed that in his position, he's one of, if not the best in the world right now. In terms of going forward, he's a lot more progressive than Reece James is, which if we're going to continue playing 5 at the back is needed.
Yep.
Plus with the fact if Ziyech is staying, getting someone in who knows him, knows how he plays, knows how to link up with him, could get the best out of Ziyech, which we're all hoping for. if he's going to stay.
That's a big if.
Yeah, but at the minute, like nothing's been touted as him going out. We're only hearing speculation at the minute.
I can bring up like 10 or 15 reports, different reports of him wanting or going out.
All I'll say is the more I hear about people talk about people like Rice and others that are worth 80 to 100 mil, like Hakimi's easily worth 80 mil. Then if Rice is worth 80 to 100 mil, Hakimi is easily worth 80 mil.
Yeah, but like Rice isn't worth 80 mil. It's just West Ham are putting it there, so no one.
You know what I mean, though.
Right.
You know what I mean, though, with the amount of people that are saying that's what his valuation is, we should just pay it and whatever, then we should just pay the whatever for Hakimi because he's better in his position than Rice is in his position.
Rice is not on our radar.
Yeah, but you know what Marina's like, though. Marina's going to try and pull as little out of that deal as possible, even if it's a case of 5 to 10 mil that she can take out of it. But then that's why we're stuck with a rock and a hard place, because Inter Milan needs to make up about 90 million euros before the end of the year so they can pay their first installment. Otherwise, the owners are losing all their shares.
Yep.
But it would be the alternative, though, from him, because that's what I'm trying to think is Hakimi, it don't go through. It would be an alternative that wouldn't be a bad replacement for him, because I don't see another one
the
like
only
him.
alternative that's been mentioned is Traore, and I've seen so many people get at him saying, "Oh, we don't need him." Like, I'd take Traore easily as an alternative.
This could be more expensive.
Thank God someone else said it instead of me.
This can be more expensive. He's 80 million pounds. That's what they went for.
I'm a Traore.
Wolves can't demand that because they've got nothing. They haven't got a leg to stand on. It's not like West Ham where they're in Europe. Rice hasn't made it clear he wants to leave. Like, he's happy there. Like, all it takes is a bid to unsettle Traore, and he'll want to leave.
Yeah, my only issue with Traore, I like Traore too. My only issue with the whole thing is just another scenario where we're missing out on our top targets over a few million, euro or pounds. It's like if they want Alonso, then I think we're in our right to negotiate a slightly lesser fee. Not that he's not worth it, but a slightly lesser fee. And if you can get, I think the reason this is so complicated is because there is another player involved. So Inter do have to do some due diligence with Alonso to make sure they can get a wage correct, get a price correct to purchase him. And if that is what's holding up the deal a little bit, I read they have a June 30th deadline for Hakimi because they have to start making their payments on their loans.
No, it's they haven't paid players.
Yeah,
they owe players money. They haven't paid the Scudetto bonus yet. So they need an influx of cash by the 30th of June is what I read. So I would imagine if the deal is going to get done, it's going to be this week or next. I mean, it would have to be.
Does anyone know when their first installment needs to be paid?
No, I don't think that's. But the 30th thing is because officially some contracts end on the 30th, the end of the month. They have to have all their players paid up to date, and they have not done that. From what I read a report, I can't quote the source right now because I can't remember, but they haven't made payments, wage payments to players because they're that broke.
Chelsea looking for a wing back, of course. If we don't get Aussie Hakimi, I wouldn't want Traore, but I would look at Dumfries because he's a good attacking wing back. If you've seen him in the Euros, especially, like he can attack. I don't think he can defend that much by the looks of it, but he can definitely attack. And I wouldn't mind that option if he's like, I don't know, 20, 30 million for like either he could be a rotated player or potentially start if he's good enough. I wouldn't mind him.
I still want to get into being forced to buy second and third choices because we missed our first target. That's what got us in the situation we're in right now with all this crap on our books. Yeah. It's like we don't get the guy we want, so then we get forced into buying guys who aren't the level of Chelsea. It's like but
the problem is that comes down to stupid ass scouting. That's like you can find a second or third option that's actually still good if you just scout properly. That's the problem. Like,
it's also
we went from trying to sign Alexandra to Zappacosta and didn't look at anyone in between. If we looked at anyone in between, you'd have realised that was stupid.
They don't even play on the same side.
Though is in our system, the way he's set up with the Netherlands is because they're only playing a 2-striker formation. He's able to get in the box a lot more. Whereas with our system, he wouldn't, because he'd have to be the widest player on the right, and his best work that I've seen for Holland comes for like in when he's in the box. Defensively, I genuinely haven't seen much of him to know what he's like.
But Chris, that's the problem right there. You say Dumfries, I immediately go to left. I say Gosens. You know, the Germany one.
Gosens.
Wait, Gosens left wing back.
Yeah, people are saying Gosens in the chat, but like we're looking for someone on the right side.
How good is Gosens? To be fair, I haven't seen much of him.
He had a good season for Atlanta, but I hadn't seen the player enough to make too much.
He's actually left.
It's like when you say that, it reminds me of Marcus Alonso. Then
he's been incredible in the Euros, man. Really,
No,
really.
he's better than Alonso. He's got more pace.
Euros form doesn't explain the entire.
I was going to say as well, when we bought Chilwell, he was Leicester's first choice replacement, but Atalanta wouldn't sell him for any less than about 50 million, and they said no, we'll just go and take Castagna instead.
Right.
Wasn't he our second choice as well? If we didn't get Chilwell, remember?
I think it was Tagliafico. I think it was Tagliafico from Ajax.
Stay away from him. He's gone downhill.
Yeah,
Stay away from Tagliafico.
The thing is, though, it's like all the reports that Hakimi first PSG. Hakimi will go to either club. This is all about Inter Milan. This is not about the player. This is
I know, but like
Milan.
there's a key preference in this, and he'd rather go to Paris.
No, because I read today the Premier League's his preferred destination. So there's mixed reports. So
where'd you read that from?
I think the report
I read that last week.
I was to say the report I read says that he prefers London and the Premier League, but his wife prefers Paris.
Right, but
I wonder why.
You know,
that's because they got the Moroccan community in Paris more than the UK.
But the thing is,
that's
it's like
that's okay.
the thing is though, it all still rests on agreeing a deal with Inter Milan. It's the club that agrees to deal with Inter Milan. The player will sign for either one. It's the agreeing a deal with Inter Milan. That's all it is. And Inter Milan have the right, as always, as a selling club, to get the best deal for them. It's when how far do they push it that either one or both clubs go, nope, we're out. Do you know what I mean? Because it's going to happen. It might happen. PSG are willing to put the amount of money that we are as like a down payment up, and we aren't yet willing to meet the 80 million euros straight up. So it's just,
you know what they say, happy wife, happy life, and all of that.
Yeah, but when you're earning hundreds of £1,000s a week, they're more than happy. So you know,
that's not.
But when they're used to that, then suddenly it ain't a big thing for them.
Well, how can they want to? Is there a big Moroccan community in Milan?
I'd say there's a North African community around there.
I'm just saying.
But I ain't really been to Paris like that, so
that's what I mean.
can't say anything.
No, there's loads. I've been there. There's loads.
Right, but was there one? But Fatou, was there one in Milan when he went to Milan? You know?
In Milan?
Yeah. Do we know?
Milan, I reckon they speak different language anyway. Still.
Well, that's what I mean.
Not really, but his profile's only at the level where he's the best in a certain position now.
All right, but I'm just saying that. But Chelsea, if they want to be taken seriously, and you just won. This is even more important than after we won a league. We won the European Cup. Do you know what I mean? We should now be going out and spending like we just won the European Cup. That's what we should be doing.
Have you seen the reports of the new left back that we're looking at?
We're looking at a left back?
Left wing back.
Who are we looking at?
Huh?
Who are we looking at?
Dwight McNeil.
Oh, no.
What? Not even a wing back.
Yeah, he plays left mid. And actually, our wing backs in that formation are more like left mids.
No, but they still
get higher.
Why McNeil? Where did you get this one?
It was on.
I want to hear this.
I don't think that one's. I don't know if that one's credible enough because I think that's the same one who said we include Mount.
Don't tell me it's from Johnny Minos Express though.
No, it's not from Johnny.
Okay.
Well, Minerals Express and all that. I can't be asked.
I still think the main thing holding this whole thing up is just
good potential in him too, but no, hell no.
Yeah.
Well, who are you going to get at left wing back if Emerson and?
I know what everyone's saying. It's a fake story in the comment section.
Yeah, I think it's like the same. I think that same account once said a day or so ago that we didn't.
That's probably CFC
in
Saudi.
the deal for Hakimi.
Let me-
So.
Let me see this. McNeil Chelsea.
Dude,
I
I'm
still
not being
think
humble. If we go for
Oh,
anyone
no,
at left
we
wing
can't
back,
do
I'd
that.
rather go for Anthony Robinson from Fulham.
Yeah, it's a good shout for a backup.
Yeah,
I mean, 'cause
he's good.
I still
but-
think the main thing holding this whole thing up is Inter being able to make sure that they get Alonso for the right price in a deal with him. They still have to work with his agents. They have to make sure there's a wage structure that works for them with him. I mean, I honestly think that the Hakimi.
Yeah, that's the troll one. Yeah, that's not real.
Right, let me
Yeah.
get
No,
this
it's
straight.
not.
If we sign Hakimi,
Mm.
then Emerson or Alonso might leave, or both of them leave. Hakimi can play as a left wing back as well.
Yeah.
I guess
That's
Napoli is in
understandable,
on
but
Emerson.
I'd still like just back up, just a
Yeah,
natural.
I just if
Left
we're getting a
footer.
guy to play right wing back, I don't want him playing left wing back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
like-
So then you're over, especially because remember, he is coming into a new league. I don't want to be overworking him. Do you know what I mean? He's still
Yeah,
got to
like,
settle still.
If we're getting someone to play a certain position, I want him to play that position. There's no point
Yeah.
getting someone who can play the other position and playing him in the other position. Just go and get
I'm
someone
just-
back up.
I'm just saying, just in case Ben Chilwell got an injury, that's all.
Well, that's
You
why
know,
we should look
that's
for.
what we
We
get.
should look for a squad transfer.
That's why Hakimi would be
Oh.
such a good option for us because of his versatility.
Yeah, but I'd rather still have a natural left footer over there just for the balance. Hakimi has got a good left foot. I would agree. He has got a good left foot. I'm just
Yeah.
thinking, would he be more predominantly to use his right on the left if we get him? That's including.
Yeah, he'd still be more liable to cut inside.
Yeah, that's
and
what I mean. So
Regardless
it's like-
of how good he is, you can kill off counter-attacks just by
Yeah.
that quick turn.
Yeah.
So I get what
I
you're
mean,
saying.
I could see him playing there against what they term lesser opposition. Do you know what I mean? Something like that, but I
What,
don't think
like
unless it was injured.
Bottom 10 teams in the league.
Yeah,
or
like
shit
yeah, exactly. Yeah, like bottom in the league, or just through rotation. But that's if we get.
Maybe, but then you need a left footer. If we're playing a 3-4-2-1, I'd say you need a left footer on the left side instead.
Yeah. That's
Otherwise,
what I mean,
you have him occupying the same spaces.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. So it just balanced them. But that's what I mean. I think if they look at that, it won't be a big deal. It will be a squad deal. Like if we get rid of Kepa, they'll get a backup goalkeeper. It'll be a squad signing. It won't be a massive signing. It'll be like one. It might even be like they might even try and do a free transfer. And I know I keep saying this, and it probably won't happen, but Ryan Bertrand is out there as a free.
I think
Just in terms of a squad. That's all.
Patrick Van
Van
Arnold.
Arnold. I think he's going to get a test, right?
Yeah, but
Maybe.
he's on a free as well, and he's still got the pace. He's got the Chelsea CV on the CV. So
It's options, isn't it? It's just options. They will. The Chelsea are still a business. They will look to try and get free transfers. They still will. As much as they may spend on Hakimi and Haaland, they still will look for cheaper deals as well. So
yeah, well, Chelsea right now has the highest.
No, go on, Justice.
I said Chelsea has the highest economic part. Doesn't matter if PSG is offering more. The fact is, they want to put a lower down payment down and pay over time. Well, Chelsea's going to put £50 million on the table.
straight up, yeah.
Straight £50 million. PSG's not putting that,
No.
according to what's been said. So
They're putting a less amount, and over the years.
So it doesn't matter if it's a higher overall deal. They need the money quick.
Yeah, because they could
I have
outbid
a hard-
us. Could outbid us.
I have a hard time
For a long
believing-
time.
I have a hard time believing French articles when PSG are involved. I feel like they'll do whatever they got to do to make sure PSG stay in the race for somebody that they want.
Listen,
I mean, there could be some truth to it, but
you'll know it's going through. I only believe it when the club announces it. The club usually announce when they've agreed a deal with someone, and then about 48 hours later, the deal goes through. So as soon as the club put it on their website, we have agreed a deal with Inter Milan for it will be undisclosed fee for Ashraf Hakimi. Then you know that within the next 48, 72 hours, they'll confirm it. So that's what they do. That's what they do. Even if Fabrizio Romano announced it or something like that, I'll still wait for the club to announce it because it's just one of those things.
Yeah, I trust when he says "here we go" though, because he
Yeah, I
doesn't
do
say
trust
that
it.
until he knows for fact that paperwork's been signed.
It's a
Has he had a "here we go" that hasn't gone through yet?
No.
No.
not unless
Again.
it's not a massive deal that I can think of.
I don't
Again,
think
it's
so. He said about Depay. He said about what's his face?
He said, I think he didn't
Xhaka,
say here we go
he said about
for Barcelona, did he? He just said
no. Yeah,
No,
he like the only stuff he said about was he said about them trying to get a deal and then PSG coming for it, and then the only time he said "here we go" is when he was actually going to PSG.
Yep.
I'm gonna say that they broke today that looks like Donnarumma's having a medical today in Milan, so they're going to get that deal done very soon. PSG. So the next target we have thought would be Hakimi. So we are racing against time right now if we want to get this deal done.
Big up Dinton saying either they back Tuchel or it will be another Antonio Conte. Are you getting 2017 vibes from this window? Because I know a lot of people are talking about it, but I'm not trying to say that just yet because we haven't even got to the point where we're getting fourth choice options or like the underwhelming signings like a Danny Drinkwater or a Zappa Costa. Even if you want to say Traore isn't the finished article that you're looking for, I mean, it's not a Zappa Costa, I'm sure about that. The ones that we haven't gone into yet, Isak potentially coming into the club as well. I'd only want him as a bench option. I'd rather him be a backup to Haaland rather than be a starter. But it's still not really like a Morata because this guy, I will say, he's coming off an impressive season, but Morata came off an impressive substitute season for Real Madrid, whereas Isaac has been gone.
I would say there's a difference where you look at the Isak thing. Like, number one, there's the age is a big thing. Like, he's 19, 20. Like, he's really not played that much football. And what he has played at Real Sociedad, he won Young Player of the Year. Whereas with Morata, you could see off the seasons he'd out of about 5 seasons of professional football, he'd had one good year. So, again, if you'd done a bit of scouting and actually looked at his numbers and the way he was playing, he would have been shit. He was going to be shit. And guess what? He was shit. But again, all it took was to actually look at like his numbers, what he'd done for Juve, Real Madrid beforehand. You could tell he wasn't good. Whereas Isak, you've got visual proof in terms of what he's doing at the Euros. I know it's a very it's sort of a microcosm in terms of it's not a wide sample size, but then you've also got the numbers from last season to back it up and the award he won to back it up.
Yeah, well, the latest on that is that they're negotiating with Dortmund to buy out the buyback clause. So Dortmund's going to take like $5 million to get rid of the buyback clause because he doesn't want to go back there. And then they're going to renegotiate his contract to take the release clause out. They're going to hold him for ransom. And there's a price, there's a cap on what you want for backup striker, center forward, whatever you want to call him. And that price is not what's going to be needed to get him out of there unless you're going to start him. And I've not seen anything to say this kid can start in the Premier League. Nothing.
That's the thing. It's a £60 million release clause on Alexander Isak. And I would have taken him for about the 35 mark, 40. But I also feel like regardless, you probably see a higher transfer valuation being put on his head just based off his Euros performance. We know what happens with these recent tournaments, how they can boost up a player's transfer fee. Big up Full Goat saying, what's wrong with Adama Traore coming in as second choice? Everyone's just worried about his end product. And I've already said that at Wolves, he's kind of relied on a lot more, especially without Raul Jimenez in the squad, which is why it's easy to double team him or triple team him.
But the thing
I think at Chelsea, where there's a lot more threat around the entire squad, he's going to have a lot more room to be able to maneuver and to actually be able to do damage on the right-hand side of the pitch. And despite the struggle of the season that he's had last season, he still had the highest take-ons in the attacking third areas of the right wing-back position on the pitch. So there is still a quality player in there. Obviously, there's the questions about his end product. But I feel like if he's got a lot more room on the pitch, which he would have at Chelsea, you might see a better end result from him. Because he's come from Middlesbrough, where he's been the main player in their attack. Wolves, main player in his attack as well. He's never just been a part player, and that's where he would be at Chelsea. I feel like he might be one of those players who can excel an already good team, but if you need him to be the player you rely on in an 11, then that's where the problem really lies with him. But go on, Scott.
I'll say the thing is, though, with the end product thing, his best time was when he was playing with Jimenez because they had a partnership. So Jimenez always knew where he had to be, and Traore always knew where he had to put the ball into. And the thing is as well, like you've got up there, the thing we struggled with last season was breaking down low blocks. We couldn't do that. Traore can do that because he can either drag players out of position because they know, shit, I've got to go and close him down, which opens up space for others like Mount or Ziyech or Pulisic or whoever's playing. And also he can just run through players. So then you're taking them out of the game. So in terms of what we need to beat what we couldn't beat last year to win the league, he's a perfect player. Or as near a perfect player you can get apart from the end product, which I still don't think is that bad, all things considered.
Yeah, but if they're asking £80 million for him, just put the money down for Hakimi because he's £68 million.
Oh, I agree. I don't
but who's putting 80 million? They're not putting 80 million for Traore, are they?
That was his latest valuation from him.
They signed him for like 30.
Well,
yeah, I mean, we offered 30 to Middlesbrough back in the day, and they wouldn't sell him to us. And then they sold him the next year for less money.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, we was talking about Isak, weren't we, about as well? And I've been confirmed that Icardi is on the tables if need be, but I don't want to.
Hell no.
What
Listen,
about Jimenez?
If we end up signing guys, like,
Jimenez is just coming off that big head injury.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure if he's going to be the same player if he comes back.
Yeah, they're talking about Arsenal with that though.
if we end up signing guys like Icardi or Isak, no matter like what the potential for Isak might be, then I think we have to have a serious look at the board and our philosophy on buying players at that point. If we're ending up like again for another window where we have plenty of money signing guys who are second or third rate choices, then there has to be a serious look at the way we do our business in the transfer market, because it would be extremely disappointing to go into next season with Alexander Isak as your number one striker or Mauro Icardi as your, like, I mean, if it would just be a huge disappointment if we wind up with some of these guys with the targets that we're linked with.
Yeah, but you know, everybody has to understand that Haaland is up here, and there's for his age, even if you take in account his age, Kane and Lewandowski are underneath him because they don't have that many years left.
No, they're better.
Because you adjust for age. You adjust for age.
I don't care about age. I'm just talking in terms of actual just ability and just goal scoring. Like, not necessarily just goal scoring, but just in terms of ability as a striker. Like, you've got Kane, Lewandowski, in terms of not even just the fact, like Kane, Lewandowski, Aguero, probably, Haaland, Suarez, and that's about it. And then just underneath, you've got like Lukaku. So the problem is anything less than Haaland is going to be a letdown. But the problem is if we don't get Haaland, then we've got to look for alternatives. So
yeah, and again, that's one of those things is you're starting up here. Anything other than that is going to be a letdown. It doesn't matter who it is.
Yeah, even if we sign Lukaku, that will still be a letdown for some people because it's not a Haaland, and that's the thing. And that's the problem is I feel some people's like it's like having those expectations is fair enough, but some people's expectations and some people's what they want, like what they feel about certain players is just unreasonable, because you can never get all the time your number one targets, never.
No, especially if they're going to cost you £150 million.
Exactly. So sometimes I feel like people need to temper their expectations a bit. I feel like we do need to go and get Haaland. Now, I'm not saying that we don't. I'm just saying that if it doesn't work out and we get someone like a Lukaku, or we still get someone who is a clinical goal scorer, try not to be too down on it.
Well, maybe it depends on. I don't know, man. It would just feel like obviously if we don't get Haaland and we got a guy like Lukaku, I wouldn't be angry, but like. I would just be disappointed again in the fact that like we have we have the ability, we have the funds to go get that player. We're just, I mean, who knows? It's Chelsea's so hard to deal with with transfers because they're so quiet with the way they do their business. It's so like they're not one of those clubs that's like putting stuff into the media to say, hey, this is who we want. It's like you don't usually find out until like the last minute when it comes to them anay, but it would just be disappointing.
Be quick on it because
wouldn't you be I was gonna say, wouldn't you be happy with Lukaku though? Like Lukaku's a very experienced
Not everybody
player.
Not everybody in the fan base though. You have to understand. There's people are saying, "Oh, it's gonna be 2017. We're not gonna back Tuchel." Based on what?
That wouldn't be the case.
If we get Lukaku, if we get Lukaku, that's still backing him.
Got an Icardi.
That's still backing him because Lukaku is a winner. He's a goal scorer. He's clinical. He's actually more clinical than Haaland. So I think it's a good buy if we get him. I would love Lukaku, and he's a lot cheaper.
Do you know what it is? It's we talked about it in the past, and it's when like Flawless has spoken about it, and other United fans and other Chelsea fans. It's the image they have of Lukaku. That's what it is. It's the image they have when he was at United, but they don't take any of the context into it. The fact that he was vastly overweight, he was playing out of position. The fact that before Ollie came in, he was their top goal scorer, I think, the past 2 seasons under 2 different managers, and still wasn't rated by the United fans.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying the what I've seen on, and then I guess you can't really say Twitter is a fair representation of the fan base, but it's the fan base that I interact with, and it's just I see it all the time. Oh, the negativity or the outright, oh, we're not going to get this person because blah blah blah. You don't know. Why would you put negative stuff out there and go so negative so quickly? We just won. We're champions of Europe. And if we don't do very much in this summer, guess what? We still have Kai Havertz, Timo Werner, Mason Mount, Christian Pulisic. If Ziyech doesn't go, Hakim Ziyech, Callum Hudson-Odoi, who everybody seems to rate. It's not like we have a bunch of scrubs playing for us. Havertz has played brilliantly in Germany's first 3 matches. I think that's 3 matches now.
2.
Two matches. He was good in the first match.
He was very good in the second match. The second match was
he was good in the first match.
I thought he was trying things, Chester. Yeah, but the second match he was amazing. Like Diaz didn't know what to do against him again.
I just think though you make a position of strength. You need to make a statement signing. You need to make a statement signing, and you need to strengthen when you're on top. And that's what we haven't done. We haven't done that since we won the first title in 2005. We have not strengthened. We've not strengthened since we brought in Crespo back, Essien,
Eden Hazard,
Sean Wright-Phillips. But
2012 was like the only time I could say after us winning a big trophy that we have. But like that's like the anomaly in everything. Every other title win after 2005 has just been poor.
Always playing catch up, man. Even
I wouldn't even. Shevchenko. 2010, I think our only big transfer was Ramirez.
Ramirez,
that and Torres, of course.
Benayoun.
2015 was just nothing, and Pedro. 2017 was just a shambles from start to finish.
I wouldn't even care if we didn't sign Hakimi if we just got Haaland is the one glaring position of need on the team. If we didn't get anybody but Haaland, I'd be just fine with the roster as currently. Maybe a couple of pieces here and there, but that's the one glaring position that we all know would change this team drastically if we just had somebody in front of the net that knows how to put the ball in the back of it.
It wouldn't. It wouldn't be good enough to win the league. That's the problem.
I think it would.
I don't think it would be good enough to win the league.
Here's
the thing. I feel a lot more confidence in Kai Havertz now.
I understand, but we don't score a lot of goals in this, and unless he becomes more clinical, then that's the only way I can see it. I can see us having a chance in the title race. We don't sign an out-and-out goal-scoring machine. That's what this side just needs, really. Then I think we're fighting for top 4 again. I think we're fighting for top 4. That's a big strike.
Go for it, Scott.
I was going to say on the point of strengthening. Look what Ferguson did every year.
Yes.
Like from 2000, so the 2 years, so they didn't win the trophy, the title, the 2 years we won it in 2004 and 2005. The year after they won it, the year after they went out and signed Nani, who was a good signing for them. The year after that, after they won the league, they went out and signed Berbatov and I think just Berbatov from Tottenham. Like they went out and made a statement with signing someone big every year after they won the title.
We did sign Eden Hazard after we won Champions League in all fairness, and that's a big sign because everybody wanted him. Like not Real Madrid. I think Barcelona wanted him. Man United was it?
We kept Torres. We didn't make a. We didn't. Yeah, but we kept Torres.
No,
but
Eden Hazard was a big signing first, wasn't he?
Well,
Yeah,
I can tell you
Cam
that
the problem is you need to make that. You can have all the parts around you, the beautiful parts. We haven't got that main one up front. You are going to struggle to win the league. That's.
Well, I can tell you that Man
Then we
City's
signed
bid
Diego
has been
Costa, didn't
turned
we?
down.
So
Yeah.
For Harry
That's
Kane.
that's just the opening. Yeah.
I saw that. I saw they bid 100. I saw they bid 100 million plus a player.
And they said
for
no.
Kane. Yeah, and they turned it down.
So
Have you
again,
seen the
you
players
can,
Plus the
involved, by the
Porto
way?
thing was good.
Yeah.
The
Some
Porto-
Yeah,
not-
City have
not
already put a
terrible
bid out
players.
for Harry
One player,
Kane,
yeah.
100 million plus a string of players that they can add into the deal if they want.
Well, no, they've said a player.
Lewis,
They have an
you
offer
sent
of
Jem
like-
the link.
Port.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
I've sent him the link.
Sterling and Jesus are the three players being mentioned.
Say again?
They're not going to sell him.
Laporte, Sterling, and Jesus are the three players being mentioned.
Not selling for 100
Off the
million.
deal.
again,
Laporte would be good for them, to be fair.
Yeah, I know. Or to be fair, any of them would be because like when it
Yeah.
like if
Did you
Sterling
say
came in-
Laporte, Jesus, or Sterling?
yeah, because like
Yep.
even Sterling for them, I think he's overrated. But him going in would allow Son to play as a striker, which would then probably negate losing Harry Kane a little bit. Or you go and get Jesus, and I know he's not clinical, but one of the good things I'll say in terms of that he has from City is his link-up play is really good.
Yeah.
And actually, to be fair, for Brazil, he plays better when he comes in off the wing. So again, it could be a case of he plays on the wing and Son plays up top again.
yeah. The thing is, you can only buy what's for sale, and everybody had. I said this before. Everybody has. This position, we're only going to pay this amount of money. There's a cap for everybody, and there's a cap for Man City. And if you think Chelsea has money, Man City has a whole country behind them. So let's understand that even then, they're still not going to go and say, well, you know, we're rich, so we're going to put an extra 50
I'm gonna
million
bounce.
pounds on the
See
table.
how it goes.
That's
Lukaku!
Look, cool.
yes,
Yeah,
Jen.
Levy is going to be a dick here and not sell him.
Lukaku, you know.
Lukaku! That's what, no, we're not. Listen, I don't want Lukaku nowhere near my club, mate. I'm not even joking. Keep that guy away from Chelsea FC. Listen, we got Havertz, man. Trust me. Havertz is the guy. Havertz is the guy. We got Timo. We got Tiny Wiener as well. Timo Werner. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bruv. Show some confidence in our players that we already have. Do you know what I mean? What worries me, right, is this Hakimi thing. If we don't get Hakimi, which could happen, because if PSG lay the money down, I just don't think Chelsea will. Then I reckon you'll end up seeing us go for a DM next. And that DM being fucking Nando's Rice, which I don't really want.
No,
no,
John,
no,
I ain't
no.
gonna be Declan.
No.
You keep saying that. But why do we keep getting linked with this guy every
Mhm.
time? This guy
So
gets linked with us.
we're not gonna
First it was
fork out.
Lampard.
We're not
First it
gonna
was
fork out
Lampard.
70 million quid for Hakimi, but we're gonna fork out 100 on Basmati. Come on, man.
No, but we can negotiate that, can't we? Done it with Chilwell. We could easily get it down to 50, 40 million, and then we'd probably end up buying him. Do you know what I mean? Which is what I don't want. Havertz ain't a striker, Jim, ain't winning the league.
Big
With
up
him
yourself,
at number
Gregor.
9. I know, but let's be serious. Would you
No,
rather if we can't get Haaland?
We
If
would.
If
I was
we
just on
can't,
that point. We would.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jim. On that point, we would if our wingers or our other attacking players score goals. That's the problem.
No,
It's
yeah,
either
exactly.
The wingers need to score more, or the striker needs to score more.
everyone needs to contribute. Yeah, I agree.
Because look at
And if-
Liverpool, or a City, they won it without a number 9, but it's because their wingers chipped in with so many goals and the midfielders.
If
Jim?
Timo Werner took his chances, his 21 big chances next season, if he took half of them, and Havertz, like Scott said, Havertz contributes, Ziyech gets a couple, Mason Mount, Pulisic wakes up, then we don't need a blimmin' striker, do we? We can get away with it. Do you know what I mean? It's just are they going to do that?
Can I ask you a question? Is there any Turkish players we can sign?
Oh no.
Yeah, there is.
Hell
There's
no.
one. There's one.
Yilmaz.
There's one
Too
Turkish
soon,
player
Wayne.
we can
Too
sign.
soon. Come on.
One. Me. That's the only Turkish player you can get at this team. Trust me.
What about the potato?
No,
The potato head, yeah.
No. That potato's just too old, bruv. He's a wrinkly potato. We need to get rid of that guy.
He's right, guys. We put Jam in attack. The title's coming home.
I'm not even joking. I would peg. I actually honestly think I'd score goals for Chelsea. Just put me on the end of them chances. I'm telling you. Done.
Craig will jump on.
Damn, I have a bad feeling it won't happen.
I'll send you a link. Saying they're all too similar. We are
going
getting just City are getting. Gone?
I'm going in for Kano now. I've seen that they're going for.
They put a first bid in for him.
Oh, yeah, 100 million. 100 million.
Yeah,
but Spurs don't want to sell.
Yeah, we have to say goodbye to the league, man.
It's 150 million pounds or don't even come in. That's what Levy has said. 150 million and we'll talk. You don't put 150 million P's on the board, you can go pound sand.
Don't be surprised if he's still as soon as they get that.
I'm saying next season, don't be surprised if Harry Kane's still wearing the Spurs kit, and it will only be because Man City will not pay the 150.
No question. If you guys don't think Levy would be a prick and make him stay all season, he would do that.
Yeah.
Also,
the only way Kane
he's doing absolutely nothing for his chance to get in a move at the minute.
Yeah.
He'll have to not show up.
Yeah, Kane would have to boycott and just say, "I'm not playing for you. Here's my transfer request. Trade me, sell me, send me to the moon, or I'm not coming in." And at that point, if he's done that, then why not go to Chelsea? Because you've already pissed off the fan base.
I don't get how they're keeping after these players anyway. How are they keeping Son and signing him on new contracts? And how the hell would Harry Kane want to stay when they can't even fucking sign a manager?
You know what it is?
What ambition is there?
No, there isn't. But that's the point. But if you look at half their players, like Lloris at this point, where is he going to get a move to? Like, I don't think he get.
I'll take him as a backup.
That entire defense is either too old or too shit to get a move anywhere to like a good club. Same with the midfield, apart from maybe Lo Celso, which I'm really surprised he hasn't actually asked for it.
And Ndombele.
And Ndombele as well. Yeah. Going forward, it's Son, and that's about it. Like, I like Bergwijn, but he's not shown enough. And then it's Kane. There are too many of their players that are just too shit to actually like say Lamella wants to move. Where the fuck is he going to go? Like, he's just going to go back to Roma or something.
Arsenal.
Yeah, I agree. Then why? All the things you just said, Scott, and that I feel like that makes an even bigger point on like why would Son stay there? Like, there's nothing.
I genuinely think it's a lack of ambition. I'll be completely. I think it's a lack of ambition. Like they know they're going to get good payment. Like
they're getting hefty wages, aren't they?
Yeah, because it's a Premier League club. They get a lot of money in with the new stadium, with the like the image rights, the TV rights, and everything. And if they finish, I know they didn't finish in there this year, but if they finish top 6, top 4, it's a good payment coming in. Like, I genuinely think it's just comfortability. Like, they're just
Son is moving like Aubameyang. That's what he's doing. He's just taking a wage.
Would you guys take Son? Would you guys take Son? I would love Son.
In a fucking heartbeat.
That means you have to. That means that you'd have to drop someone like Pulisic, Havertz, Mount.
No, but
money.
Well, Mount's not actually a winger though.
Fucking Johnny's going to be here in a minute. Big up Artem saying we got too many toxic fans. The amount of fans I see trashing Marina and our board on Twitter is disgusting. Wow. All because we're taking time and not trying to pay up 80 million on a wing back. How many people are trashing Marina on this? Because the only thing I've seen is a lot of people saying, this is 2017 all over again. And I still think that that's a heavy exaggeration in itself.
Chelsea,
listen, I haven't really seen the board get too much stick.
Lewis,
I hope it doesn't get to that point, though.
The easiest way to explain the situation...
We are too flip-floppy in this regard.
The easiest way to explain this situation is Chelsea, even though all the money in the world that we do have limits to what they can spend. And if they're going to go and bring someone like an Erling Haaland in that's going to cost them 150 cash and they have a 200 million transfer budget, they just can't put the 80 million down for a player who they can't deem is important enough to play in that position. So they'd rather I know they're not going to accept it. Offer 50 mil. Try and get rid of offload a player. If they don't and PSG come in with the 80 mil, this is why I don't think Chelsea will match it. Because if we've got other targets, we've got other areas that we really need to improve. Let's be serious. Right wing back. Did any of us think at the beginning of the season that we needed a right wing back? Did any of us think we would
Okay.
go after someone like Hakimi?
Not as a primary target, but I feel like his versatility is the main reason why we're trying to pursue this as well.
I thought we needed. Go ahead, Craig.
Have we ever actually bought a wing back other than Marcus Alonso that's worked?
No. No.
No, good point.
Because we moan
Exactly.
about Alonso not being able to defend. We moan about Emerson not being able to defend. We moaned about Zappacosta not being able to defend. And yet all of a sudden here we are. If you want to go and spend 80 million on Hakimi, he's a reasonable footballer. I wouldn't pay 80 million for him. But if you want to go and do it, that's a full-on commitment to playing three at the back. And look,
Yeah.
I mean, I love three at the back. I'm all for going and committing to it. But it's a big amount of money to throw at a right wing back, where the most we've ever spent on one is 30 million in Emerson. It's a lot of money. We've spent money on centre forwards, haven't paid out. We're going to go and spend more money on them. Same thing with centre midfielders, but 80 million on someone that we've never even.
But Craig, is he not one of the best right wing backs in the world in his position?
Personally, I'm not a massive lover of him from what I've seen. I mean, he's a good footballer. Do you know what I mean? He's a good footballer, but
he's got the same amount of goals as Jorginho this season. Our top goal
yeah, because Jorginho takes penalties, which is exactly what I was saying to you about. Man City scoring goals from midfield. Gundogan pops up with goals. De Bruyne pops up with goals. You know, and these are people that are playing centre midfield, not attacking midfield. This is centre midfielders. You know, and all of a sudden we're saying, oh yeah, we don't need a centre forward. You have to go and get Haaland. If that's what you want and that's the way you want to play, go and spend the money on Haaland before you do anything else. I get what people are saying. Oh, we've got one budget for this, one budget for that, one budget for this.
That's not how it works.
No, it's not. You've got a transfer budget. You can't just go, oh, we'll offload a couple of people because we need to go and buy that person. Because everyone goes, oh, you need to offload a couple of people. Great. Well, we'll just say, oh, you want 40 for him? We'll give you 20 because we know you want to sell him. And then are we undervaluing all the stuff that we've got to sell on? I as much as I love the fact that we're being linked with these massive players, there is, I think it was Jester said that there is a limit to what you can spend. Everyone has got a limit. Otherwise, we're playing transfer mode, and that's not real life. That ain't real life shit at all. You've got to go and build a team, and 80 million on a right wing back when it might not be the absolute most crucial priority. Is a bit extreme for me. At 60, maybe I could be kind of swayed, but 80, no way near.
Yeah,
Hear what
that's
you're
why
saying. Arthur's agreeing with you as well, saying exactly what Jem's saying. Hakimi wasn't even on our minds 2 weeks ago. Now all of a sudden his name comes up and all the fans go crazy. I feel like with that, it's the expectation of us being European champions, and with that being in mind, if we want to go for our number one targets, we should be pursuing our number one targets.
I agree.
And with that as well, I think it's because we've seen so many times that we win a big trophy and we get complacent. We don't really pursue our targets in the transfer window like we should. And then it just goes in a revolving circle where we go to the top, we touch the pinnacle, and we go straight back down. And then we come back up, reach the pinnacle again, and go straight back down. I feel like fans are worried that we're doing it again, and they want to see stability around the club.
Where I disagree with that, though, is the fact that every day we're learning new information, we're getting in new information on certain things. So like we said, yeah, Hakimi wasn't in our minds 2 weeks ago, but once we get an inkling that we could sign him, then you start thinking, okay, how would that work in our team? How could it, what could we do? We could put Reece James at right centre-back, which did work quite well when he played there, bar the one mistake against Leicester. And it means Dave could get less game time, which we've all been clamouring for because of his age, but he could still be a part of the team. It means that we don't need to sign a centre-back in this team. It means that going forward will be better because Hakimi's better going forward than Reece James. Like, it's all the time. Like, for example, what about, like, tomorrow we hear that Haaland, all of a sudden, Haaland's got an underlying, like, injury that's like it could, like, happen at any moment. Like, for me, that makes me worry coming to the league he's going to be playing in. If it's a knee injury or something like that, all it takes is a bad challenge and he could be out for half a season.
But it's likewise with Hakimi. There's a few people. I mean, you've got to take that risk. I know. I get the point.
That's what I mean. It's like new information changes how you see things or how you think about things. And us finding out about Hakimi, it allows us to go, okay, how could he fit in our team? What could we change?
We signed Fernando Torres and he had literally one leg. Do you know what I mean? He just come out of a crap injury and we paid 50-odd million for Fernando Torres to come across and play the way he did.
You're signing a name, you're not signing a
Do you know what I mean? But
best
that's
player. Which is the only thing I worry a little bit about with Hakimi, because every time I've seen him, all the great things he does, he requires space. and he ain't going to get it in the Premier League in certain capacities. He'll do it at certain times, of course, but I mean, you can watch all these highlights videos and all the best moments of this and all this crap. They show you all the good bits. They don't show you how he defends when we get into a back five. They don't show you how well he digs out across if there's 5 people in the middle of the box all to aim for. You know, there's context that goes with it. With Haaland, you've seen him score goals multiple different ways on multiple different occasions with multiple different teams. You're not surprised where Hakimi, we only ever really see him do it for
You're saying
Haaland.
he's more of a system player?
No, he did it for
in your
Dortmund.
eyes?
Well, to be fair.
I don't think he did it for Dortmund. I mean, from what I saw when the whole Bundesliga came back up again, I wasn't fussed by him, honestly. I know that may be a little bit harsh, but he just requires space. He puts aimless balls in the box that Bundesliga defenders could not deal with. Premier League defenders get rid of it all day long. But I just don't think he's worth 80 million quid. Or sorry, 68 million quid, 80 million euros.
He doesn't
Well,
even,
and we don't know that Chelsea haven't been on him for a little while. I mean, we don't know exactly when Tuchel gave his recommendations on players and things like that he'd like to sign. That could have just been a few weeks ago. You know, like after the tournament or after the Champions League, he may have said, "All right, here are my targets," and Hakimi was one of the first names on the list. So
apparently, he was a Chelsea target. I mean, Simon Phillips announced that Chelsea have wanted him for the last 2 years. So it's not a Tuchel signing.
So
that's
then
Chelsea.
Is that Chelsea going, oh, actually, that 3 at the back worked before. We want to go back to it. Do you know what I mean?
Let's just give him trust in Tuchel, really.
Yeah, but if Chelsea wanted them before Tuchel even came in, it's like, if Chelsea wanted to go back for a back 3 or you know, what's the... Yeah,
that's where the issues with the board come in, because then it's like, now are you hamstringing your manager to have to play a back 3 when maybe he didn't want to? Maybe he wanted to go to a back 4, and now you're making him stay with a 3 because as a board you're targeting Hakimi. So you have to hope that's not the scenario, because then that just spells, you know, the same issues we've had for forever.
Well, actually, the most players on our team back 4.
I agree.
They really do.
I agree with that as well.
From midfielders, so you'd have to change a lot more pieces to go to a back 4 and be really good at it. Because let's say, we all say to go to back 4, you have to have a holding DM. Yeah. Okay, then what does that do for Jorginho? He's not a solo holding DM. He'd have to leave.
He is in certain situations, but not in the league. Not in the league we play in. In the Champions League, he could be easily, but because
it's too quick for him. The Premier League to play.
Yeah, but we have played him. I'm not saying we played him as a holding DM, but we have played him as the lone DM before. He has done it.
It's not a good idea.
Yeah,
it's not a good idea.
That was under
Sarri. Yeah,
he wasn't a lone DM. He played a pivot.
No, he played a lone DM. Kante and Kovacic played center mid.
I
don't want to see.
We didn't really play with the DM under Sarri.
And Chelsea fans didn't like that.
When he was the one in the middle, he was always the sitter in the middle. Wasn't
he was the middle guy.
He was more of a Batista in that one.
Yeah.
It would work himself more as a passing option to continue possession play. That's
what I'm saying. When we're playing possession game, he's fine. But the problem is with the Premier League against a lot of teams, it's far too physical. That's the only issue he has is physicality.
Well, you know,
I don't think it's a case of pace, because you look at even in the Euros at a minute, like some of the games are fast paced, but he's still handling it.
I think
when it comes to pace, it's fine. It's the physicality.
I've seen the West Brom game. He got run past so many times. He single-handedly gave the ball away and cost us, I think it was 2 of the goals. Definitely cost him Thiago Silva to get sent off. And we were buggered from there. So as much as I get the whole, he's not going to get run past. I mean, he is getting run past in the Premier League.
He's going to get run past. Of course he is.
I mean, let's be also honest with ourselves as well. So far in the Euros, as much as I've loved watching Italy and I think they're going to go on and win it, he's played against Wales. He's played against Switzerland. And he's played against Turkey.
I can't say
wait.
Wait.
Shit.
No, they're not.
This ain't gonna happen.
Craig.
Come for you now.
Why do Chelsea fans want Declan Rice when he's only faced against who's he faced against? Scotland.
I don't want Declan Rice.
And Croatia are not the same team.
We're not hyping.
Who's Croatia going to attack? Who's Croatia going to attack?
We're not hyping up Declan Rice for what he's done in the Euros.
Wales have got Gareth Bale, who's better than all Croatian attackers. No, he played strike. He played strike against Italy.
He's
better than Croatian strikers. Who's Craig got strike?
I think,
What's
look,
this got to do with Declan
I
Rice?
think,
But like Chelsea fans want Declan Rice. I like Declan Rice, but like they're saying
Yeah,
that
but you're
let's
not
have
saying
Declan
Declan
Rice.
Rice had a great Euro.
I think Jorginho is very good at what he does, and to be able to do that is good. And I think he is very limited. But what people forget about with Jorginho is there's players around him that elevate his performance.
Yes.
Not just him, but it elevates his performance for it to looking better. If you put Jorginho in Turkey, where there's not as
everyone would be shit.
Why do we have to go there, Tim?
He would struggle. All right. Anyway, who's better than Turkey then? Everyone.
Anyone.
Turkey are bad. Have they overrated them?
I don't know.
North Macedonia.
Ukraine.
They
Are you talking
score.
about good teams? Were we trying to get good teams?
Switzerland are a good
I'll
team.
give you that. It wouldn't work in Belgium's team.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have to play to his strengths. That's my point. He's very limited.
But also, the thing with Jorginho, which I think as much as people go, he keeps the ball and he does this and he does that, everyone's got their deficiencies of what they can't do as well. Which is what it just annoys me that people seem to forget about that. You know, he isn't the quickest person in the world. He's not the tallest player in the world. Comparing with Kante, I still don't think you've got a lot of height in there. And one of my big things I would sign this summer would be a defensive midfielder or a centre midfielder who is taller. So if you do have to go and shit out your way through it, you can throw on the big lad in midfield that helps break it up, also helps with set pieces. That would be what I would do. Declan Rice is one that obviously comes to mind. But again, at 80 million quid even, I'm not touching him. So there's
and the potential striker options as well. Big up Dinishin saying I like Werner, but you can't handle the striker pressure. Sorry, Fata, I did have to read the super chat.
If City get Kane, we have to forget about everything. We have to forget about right wing back.
They're not getting Kane. They're not getting Kane.
If City get Kane,
they're not going to get Kane.
I haven't heard a lot, but I've heard 150 million wanted for Kane. Is that right?
They've put a bid in of 100 million plus one player of a certain list that they've given them.
And Jester's right. That 150 is probably to have a conversation. It's probably not like a done deal if you give the 150.
Don't want him to go at the end of it. If they don't put the 150 down, they're not going to entertain it. It's end of. Do you know what I mean?
Here's the thing: they could get the 150, but if they do and they lose Harry Kane, there's no reason for any any player with any sort of motivation to win trophies to want to join their club.
Yeah.
Well, they
don't even have a manager.
If Spurs lose Kane, that's a mid-table team, no question about it.
Yeah, let's not lie to ourselves here.
I'm going to feel sorry for Stan.
Bale put Spurs on the map when this sounds really bad. Bale put Spurs on the map in what was it, 2011, 12, whatever it was when they were half decent.
Around 2010,
they
finished fifth.
And then all of a sudden, exactly. And then all of a sudden, they go and sell him. They bring in 8 players.
I'll take it.
They bring in 8 players to replace him, and they haven't done anything since. And Kane has actually kept Spurs relevant. So why would Levy want to sell the only person that's kept them relevant for the last 6 years? When I say relevant, I mean good. But
like
even
competing
then,
for top 4.
Yeah, exactly. They take away that, and they're not an average side. That's unfair, but they're a massive step behind where they were. They can't afford to let Kane go because there's not many centre forwards out there that they can replace him with that are going to have the same impact and that they know are going to have the same impact. Because we're all saying, 150 mil for Kane. What they're going to do? They're going to spend 80 million or 90 million on a centre forward? How many of them are out there?
The thing with Tottenham is, I think the best thing for them to do is to sell Kane.
I agree. I think I can think a complete rebuild is needed, but they are not going to do it.
That's the thing, because their defence is shocking. They've got one right back as it stands with Aurier going PSG. If that is still happening, by the way, if that is still happening, they have one right back. He's dog shit. He's absolutely awful. Their centre backs are Alderweireld, who's about 35, and I like him, but he's far too old.
Yeah.
Tanganga, not good enough at the minute. Eric Dyer, need I say more?
Sanchez.
Yeah.
Just
calamity FC. So their defense is shocking. Their midfield is good, but is missing in key areas. Like, I don't think they have a proper number 10. Dele Alli is not it. Will never be it.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of wingers, they've got one goal scoring winger. And as I said, I like Bergwijn, but he's just not done it. Lamella is Lamella. Lucas is old. And then strikers, they have done, if Kane leaves. Apart from Troy Parrott, who was at Ipswich last year, I think.
And that's Vinicius, whatever his fucking name is.
He's only on loan, so he's going back.
Oh, he's on loan? I thought they signed him.
I've just seen that, bro. There's a lot of the same similar links that we've been talking about. There's not really much that's different, except What is it? I can put the Simon Phillips article up here on the share screen. One sec.
Yeah, but with
Craig,
it was a loan that they had an option to buy, but they chose not to take it.
Okay, fair enough.
So like they need they need at least about 5-6 players, which again, if they like with the Bale thing, that came down to just not. I say it all the time, and I know I sound like a broken record, but it's scouting. It's going and finding players that make sense in the system you play.
Yes, completely agree. And they aren't going to do it.
Like, look at Leicester. Leicester are going to sign players that may not be the big name players. Kante was playing for a relegation-threatened Cairn side when they signed him.
Another
And that was
signing
the best
Patson Daka
midfielder in the world, arguably, because they went out and scouted a player that they knew was going to fit the system and complement Danny Drinkwater. Like it's really simple shit. It's really simple shit.
A few big clubs don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, it's I don't understand it because it's really simple and it's so effective, but I don't get why a lot of teams just don't want to do it or don't seem to be able to do it.
Apparently, Leicester signing Patson Daka from the Austrian national team.
Yeah,
he's a good striker. He has a lot of potential, man.
Potential though, it's potential.
He was playing for RB Salzburg.
I will say as well, the last player to come from RB Salzburg to the Premier League's done all right, I think.
I don't know who that is.
That was Sadio Mane.
Oh, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Was it not? I thought he was the last one.
It was Minamino.
Minamino.
See.
The last one before that, then. To be fair, it's not been bad. He just never got played. But the last one before that was Sadio Mane, I believe.
I want to ask you something, Craig, because obviously you haven't been on stream for a while.
Yeah.
For you, what would be your transfers that you would like to see at Chelsea next season?
My dream transfer is sign Haaland. I mean, that's the thing I want to get done. I think it's unlikely to get done, honestly. And it looks like Sancho to Man United looks like that's on the cards. But I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. But the problem I've got is Man United Sancho thing looks like it's going to happen, which I understand. Then after that, I mean, we need a centre forward. I don't know how much Lukaku is allegedly meant to be worth, but I've heard triple figures, which I'm not necessarily sure I'm touching.
He's around 60-70 million apparently, because his contract or 80 max.
Nah, more 80, 90, I think.
Yeah, see,
but they want to leave as well.
I think he's still worth that anyway, regardless, because he's actually more clinical in Haaland this year, and he's more experienced.
Not more clinical. Where are you getting that from?
He's actually more clinical. He is more clinical. You do know Haaland's missed 10 chances in one game, right? Big chances.
And he guarantees goals in Premier League as well, man.
And Haaland
he's not even. And Haaland
this season.
What? Who?
Yeah.
Haaland.
No, Haaland. Haaland's missed more than Werner. So where are you getting your numbers, Chester?
And
Haaland is third top scorer in the Bundesliga.
Haven't said where you got your numbers.
Yeah, he has been injured for quite a while.
Lukaku.
The thing is, I will say as well, is Lukaku's playing in a slower league that play a deeper line.
Yeah.
And is scoring. I think he scored more goals than Haaland this year. I will have a look on that before people
Haaland scored overall 41 goals in all competitions, I think.
But also in the
41
Premier
goals
League,
in 41 games.
Yeah, it's really good.
In the Premier League, we are not guaranteed to get the same Lukaku that we are getting at Inter Milan currently. He is.
Yeah.
You've got to base it on the Man United Lukaku is what you're going to get. As much as I'd love to say it's more, there's no guarantee of that happening, which is why I'd be a little bit reluctant to spend an obscene amount of money on him. That would be the only thing I would
He's got to want to come to Chelsea too, guys. It can't just be like
if he's willing
we
to
want
come
him.
to Chelsea,
He'll have to want to leave and come.
I'd buy him personally because he's improved in Syria as well, man.
Big up T1. Are you guys okay with continuing free at the back next season? I think our attacking talent is wasted, plus I'm hoping PSG sign Hakimi. Here's the thing, with us at free at the back last season, we were top of the table for nearly every statistic except for conversion rate. So there's no reason for me to think that we can't continue this on into next season, because Tuchel's also shown we can play an attacking version of a free at the back and still get the best out of all of our players. So I wouldn't mind us doing it. I just want us to be able to interchange between the back three and the back four when necessary. But that's why I want us to get a DM too. Go on, Scott.
I think we can. Also, I will say I was wrong. Haaland got more goals in all competitions last year. But yeah, with the free at the back thing as well, like we said, it complements more of our players more. Like with the back three, when we played a back four, I know it was under a different manager, but Christensen didn't look anywhere near as good. Neither did Rudiger. And then we played a 4-2-3-1 with Haaland. And 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 we played a 4- it would suit Reece James more. But again, if we play him as the right centre back, if we get Hakimi, then we can transition really easily in game to a back four and just push Hakimi slightly higher up, and it still works because he has played right mid before as well. It would we need a DM if we go forward at the back because we have nowhere near as much protection with Jorginho there, and none of our other midfielders are sitters apart from Gilmore. And I know people are going to say after the Euro what he did with Scotland and everything, but I don't want to just chuck him in at the deep end.
Completely agree.
Because that will he'll either become an amazing talent or he'll break, and that's too much of a risk. That's too much of a risk to put on a player.
Yeah, I agree.
And then going forward, a back four, unless we played a 4-2-3-1, wouldn't suit Ziyech at all. Because
just a quick one. Are we certain he's going to stay?
I think
no.
No.
I think he goes.
Because it's kind of come back to the question that Wayne asked me earlier about who I would want to sign. It also kind of fits into your point as well. Talking to an American and also a fellow Dolphins fan as well is, yes, I'm very proud. Is defense wins championships, and if we can defend properly and then get the ball up the other end of the pitch, hey, we're in luck. And you were saying earlier, were you saying about stats? Lewis was saying about we were first in everything when playing a three at the back, bar from chances scored.
Conversion rate.
Shot conversion. Okay, so if you manage to sort out your front three, let's say, because let's be honest, they're all not strikers. If you manage to throw an actual striker in there, we could be looking at realistically winning a league title. If you don't concede goals, you always keep yourself in with a chance. You want to get the best out of Christensen. You want to get the best out of Rudiger. You want to get the best out of Thiago Silva. A back three is the way forward. Because let's also be honest with ourselves as well. Thiago Silva is a fantastic player, but he could get isolated in a back four. If he's playing as a two in a defensive pairing, he could get done. So if you want to think about what we need going forward and what we need to... moving forward, not actually going forward. When we're moving forward, if you really want to kind of continue to keep this kind of idea that if you defend properly, you keep yourself in games and a couple of goals can win it for you, then a striker has to be your main option. It has to be your main priority. I get that you need to strengthen. I do get that. Of course you need to strengthen.
The thing I'd say is the only way I see going to a back four making sense in terms of that's the thing we start with is if Rudiger leaves.
Yes, I agree.
Zuma can't
Which is also possible.
That was the thing we were on
that back three because he is awful when it comes to this system because he's got no passing ability or positional awareness or most things that require when defending bar heading ability. And you'd have to play. So that means you'd only really have Dave if we get Hakimi as the backup option at centre back, and having one defensive backup is a calamity waiting to happen because all that requires is a long-term injury to Christensen or Silva.
Look what happened with Liverpool.
Look what happened
with Liverpool. Van Dijk, and even when they had Gomez briefly, they didn't. Never were the same team.
And they spent half their season cussing out Williams and Phillips
exactly
because of how bad they were. To then try and that's another thing. But then you've got to bring either a youth product through, which again, chucking him straight at the deep end that can make or break him, or you've got to panic buy someone. And when we panic buy, we've seen it. We fucking mess it up so much all the time.
Yeah, I read an article this morning, speaking of Rudiger, there that said he guaranteed Tuchel that he would stay next season, but that doesn't mean anything about after that. And Chelsea are not going to get their hands tied with a player who's only going to stay for one more year and then want to leave. So there's a good chance Rudiger could go too if he decides not to sign a new contract.
Because he wants the money, doesn't he?
He wants one last big deal. That's what he said.
He deserves a big. He deserves a bonus though with his wage.
He deserves improved wages. Yeah.
I said this though. Where's he going to go to get this?
Barcelona.
Why would
big
Barcelona?
club.
Because he's already been linked with them already. Last season he was linked with them.
No, number one, I don't see him as a Ronald Koeman player. If Ronald Koeman's
what about Real Madrid as well?
I was going to say Real Madrid because they need centre halves.
Real Madrid, at the minute, I'd say I'll be real. If they wanted centre halves, I see them going getting Koundé over Rudiger.
What about Bayern Munich?
Rudiger's better though, isn't he?
I'm not saying he's not. I'm genuinely not saying that he's not better. I'm saying I see them going and getting Pau Torres or Koundé over him, is what I mean.
Rudiger's better in a 3 than a 2.
Yeah. Also, Barca, to go on a Barca point, Barca are broke. very broke. I'm surprised they're doing them as the amount of deals they're doing because they are broke. Then apart from that, PSG don't need him. So then where's he going to go that's going to pay him that much money?
Barcelona got the pilot for free, fam.
We'll have to find out, won't we,
Yeah,
Scott?
still got to pay the wages, though, haven't they? That's the thing.
We could put him in a deal for Haaland. A Borussia Dortmund.
Rudiger.
Yeah, but he won't want to go. He doesn't fit the Dortmund profile still.
He has played for them before.
Has he?
Yeah.
No, that's why he played for Stuttgart.
He played for Dortmund as well, didn't he? I'm sure. Let's have a look.
He played for.
It's just an
We
option.
got
That
him
he,
from Roma, didn't we?
Played for
Yeah, we got
Stuttgart,
him from
Roma.
Stuttgart, then Roma. Oh no, he was in their academy.
it's just an
That's why I
option that
meant
he
it.
will that he
Was
could
academy.
leave. It's very possible.
Yeah, he was in their academy. Fuck.
So that's why I thought I mentioned it because I knew he was in his academy. I thought it'd be, and they played 3 at the back as well. And they're
But if
going to
he
be
wants a
under
big-
Mark Roy's the new manager.
I
But
don't
if
know
he
they
wants a
should
big
see
payday,
because
I don't know if that makes like if his whole ambition is just a payday, then there's only a handful of clubs that he would go to make a payday.
Yeah,
I don't think it's
How old
so
is
much
he?
a payday. It's he wants to be in the top 10 earners at the club.
he's 28, by the way.
28.
Who's 28?
So it's
But centre half can go on longer than
I
like
thought it was
32.
As long as
Are
he
we
has
all out on? Are we
yeah.
all out on Ramos? Are we all out on Ramos?
no,
Yeah.
I don't want him anywhere
I
near.
want him.
Why
Love him,
wouldn't you
but
You
I
don't
wouldn't
want
take him.
to. No.
I wouldn't
I
mind.
wouldn't say no to him, but I wouldn't outright pursue him either. Like we don't
For a
have
year
to.
or
Yeah.
If
two.
you wanted
As a
to
squad
come,
player, I wouldn't mind it.
Bro, I
Yeah,
want
but-
Ramos.
I would rather Varane. Like Varane is a very good centre back.
I don't want him either.
I want
Why-
Kinde.
why-
That's what I
why?
want. Kinde.
I'll take Marquinhos.
Both of them are
Because-
injury
Hey,
prone.
because this season,
Wait,
Eder
Varane's
Militao
not injury
has been-
prone.
Yes, he
because this
is.
season-
He is.
It's not that.
What,
Eder
he gets
Militao
injured
has
every
been-
year?
So,
Yeah.
so when Ramos got injured and Eder
Wait, I
Militao
need to look
came
at
into the
this.
back line, Eder Militao has been better than Varane this season when he's played.
Right.
Like that's why I don't want Varane. And like, I'd rather go and get Kimpembe. If we're going to get centre backs, I'd rather go and get Kimpembe or Marquinhos.
Yeah, no, Marquinhos would be a great shit. Especially if Ramos and Varane end up going to PSG, I would go after Marquinhos.
Another question. Sorry, very quickly. And I know this is going to break Lewis's heart. You know, we're obviously saying about potentially moving on a defender, whether it be Rudiger or Zuma or someone like that.
Don't.
I personally would
Hey.
move on Zuma. Just want to put that out there for the moment. Put that out there.
Zuma can definitely go.
Yeah, he can go.
Yeah. However, However, do you think it potentially makes sense that someone like Christensen could go to Barcelona / Real Madrid if they need a ball playing centre half because it suits the league better? I don't want it to happen, but I could see there being an interest, if you get what I mean.
Well, Craigo, I am glad that Barcelona over the last few years showed that they have no sense in the transfer market because that's not happening.
Again, the thing
No,
I would
yeah.
say,
Thank God.
I think some.
No, with
What I
Zuma.
would say again
Oh,
is,
go on.
I just say, like the Rudiger thing, I think, yeah, it probably would be a good option. But just because with the way Barcelona are working and Real Madrid are working with like the Galacticos thing or like signing, especially with signing players out of their own league, I just see them going after like a Kunde or a Pau Torres
I
or
agree.
that. Just because as well, with how much their names have been tagged around, it's the kind of like it's the next big thing, so to speak, at centre back, and it would be a straight transition into the league. Like I just see them going for them more rather than AC, even though AC's better, especially in Kunde. Like, Kunde is not worth like 80
the only
mil or
reason I
whatever
say it is because obviously when Hazard went there and all the Madrid fans were booing saying they wanted Mbappe, do you think that a potential champion of Europe could be on the cards over there, and would that help shut some of the fans up rather than getting another guy that was in their league and it's, oh, for God's sake, we were shit? You know, I don't know. I just think there's a little bit, not hype, that's the wrong word.
What's going on with Tchouaméni?
Sorry?
He's in a holding pattern, just like any other central midfielder we're looking for.
I've
That's
never
the last
heard of
thing
him.
we're going to do.
But
Never even heard of it.
Yeah, I agree. I
he's,
think we should sell AC. I think we need to start getting a hype on. I think Christian needs to go. I think
We need to go
I think
international.
How
Yes,
many
we need to go
Gem streams have you
international.
been on? Because you're getting more and more infected with his bullshit by the day.
I got one question to ask though. How many homegrown players do we need for Champions League?
8.
Okay,
I think-
we're losing one.
I think I
assume
think
we mean do we?
Yeah, well,
Yeah, just
yeah.
just checking.
If we're losing Tammy, we've got to replace that homegrown player.
bro.
Mark Gay, bring him in.
Well, I think if Zuma goes, Guehi comes in for sure as a backup.
Yeah, that's
That's
what I think.
two, because Zuma is a homegrown player because he was in our academy.
That's true.
No, he wasn't.
Well,
Wait,
wasn't.
no,
Zuma wasn't.
Yeah, he played in the
wasn't we
academy.
bought for $1 million?
Yeah,
You got him from
God.
Saint
No,
Etienne.
one for Saint Etienne.
Yeah, we brought him from
I know,
Saint-Etienne.
Zuma feels like he's
Christensen played
homegrown,
for our
but he isn't.
academy. He's a homegrown player.
Jose brought him in. That's why.
I'm taking a piss.
Yeah, no,
what's
Andreas
the other
Christensen's a homegrown player. 'Cause he played
Let's say
in
we
our
don't.
academy.
Let's say we don't get
Love
Haaland.
it.
Would you like be against? Would you like be against getting Isak and Grealish?
Yes.
I'm against Grealish. As much as I love him, I'm against that whole thing because we've got too many players that are very similar. We need a proper number 9. But you know, you've got Ziyech very similar to Grealish. You've got Mount very similar to Grealish. You've got Pulisic. You've got Werner. You've got Havertz. All these people, all very similar. You need something a little bit different.
It's not even that. We don't need another creator. Like,
Yes.
who's going to score the goals? If Grealish creates all these chances, there's still no one getting
Yeah,
the
we
goal.
need a goal
I'm
scorer.
glad Scott's on the stream because normally I lose my fucking mind. So I don't
And
do
Isak is not going to start for us.
This is why I say I want Lukaku because he's a goal
An
scorer. But
amazing player, but like, bro, all it means is we'll be creating about 50 chances a game and still won't be scoring like 1. It's
Yes.
cool. We need a goal scorer, not a creator.
Yes, thank God.
but what I will
So, yeah,
say, Scott,
also-
what I will say is
I'll just
I
say-
think Timo Werner will score more goals next season. I don't think he's going to miss as many chances as he did.
It'd be
This
fucking
year.
hard for him not to, wouldn't it?
If he does the same, he will be out. If he does the same, like missing and all that, like keeps missing the same way and everything, he will probably be out. But I think he's
It's
going to
because
improve back with his goal scoring.
it's because the offside lines are thicker. That's why.
So also as well, by the way, on the homegrown thing, 8 players need to be in the 25-man squad. Need to be trained by clubs from the league.
So that would count as Chilwell.
And 4 of them need to be from the club's own youth system.
Okay.
So James Mount,
Christensen,
and
Hudson-Odoi.
There you go.
Okay.
So we
I
need
just
to
want to
keep.
make sure.
Don't worry, Lewis. AC is staying. We need him. He's staying.
The only way one of those 4 would leave is if we brought Guehi through, or Tammy stayed, or Gilmore stayed.
Right.
Does Gilmore
As in, like,
count?
not on loan. As
yeah,
in
Gilmore does. Yeah,
Okay.
I thought it was also indigenous people.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. So
they have to be from. That counts too.
8 of the players, yeah. So those 4 would also count towards the 8, and Chilwell would because he was trained in England. So would fucking hell, you're gonna really test my brain there, aren't you?
Gilmore would count on that too, wouldn't he?
Yeah, Gilmore would. I don't actually know who else would count on that actually. Or the only way you get around it is you have less. So if we were 2 players short, you'd have to put a 23-man squad in instead of a 25-man squad.
Well, you put youth players in there like Andrew and Livramento.
There we are. Android's one of them.
There we go. Yeah.
Unless they go on a loan. But what I'm saying is you could put 2 academy players in the squad to make up and never play them. Like we did this year.
Asking question for the panel: was Varane's stinker against City last year changing your opinions on him? Or have you never rated him that highly? Be honest. I wouldn't say no one's never rated him that highly. I think there's always been questions over whether he can command the back 4 by himself. I still think he's a solid defender regardless. And he's
without Sergio Ramos, he's not a good defender. Without Sergio Ramos, he's not a good defender, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I say the thing for me...
I wouldn't say not a good defender. There's just a few more holes.
I mean, he is a World Cup winner, though, isn't he? I suppose, without Ramos.
so's Mustafi.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's just Arsenal.
Yeah, one's the starter, though, and one warm bench the whole tournament.
Exactly, yeah.
Did we just not see 4-2?
Say again?
Did what?
What was that?
Against Portugal? So, no, Ramos is a much better defender than Varane is.
Yeah.
It's not even close.
Yeah. Where
but there's a million intangibles that Ramos has that a guy like Varane doesn't have.
The thing
Did we see Hungary's goal
against
against France? That was Varane.
Hungary, sorry, did you say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. And the thing, as I said, the thing for me with Varane is like after a few not kind of not poor performances, but like below average. I read a couple of articles about him, and there was like I don't want to say experts. It was like there were analysts that were looking at the game and saying that Militao is better or has been better when he's played than Varane. And it was that point I was like, this is a guy that barely plays. His first season was quite poor. He's quite young as well, and he's played better than a guy that's won a World Cup, has experience, plays next to Ramos like every game. That's where I was like, maybe he's not.
Militao plays but he starts sometimes for Brazil as well, next to Thiago.
Bless Josh.
All right, guys. Have a good one, guys.
In a bit.
He started their last game that I watched.
Does Thiago Silva still play for Brazil now?
Yeah, he starts.
Sometimes he doesn't always start. Yeah. He doesn't always start. He didn't start
last game. Yeah, the last game.
He didn't start the first
game. He started the second game.
Yeah, I can't remember who they played, but he didn't start the first game.
No, he didn't play every game because it's 36.
I think they played Venezuela in the first game. I think.
Say again? I'm sorry, I missed that.
I think they played Venezuela in the first game.
Yeah, they played
Copa America.
Yeah, they did.
I can't remember who they played the second game, but he was on the field.
Depleted Venezuela side as well because of COVID.
I've got a question though. I need to ask Craig something as well. Of the sort of, and I need to ask you because it is quite personal, but I presume you've heard the rumours. We found out Johnny's got a thing for Mason Mount's neck. Now, are you on the same page? Because I know you like Mason Mount. Do you think he's got a good neck?
Sorry, what have I missed?
You're turning kinky bastard. It's best that you don't have to know about this, you know.
If you say his name one more time, he's coming on the stream. He'll pop up.
He's like Beetlejuice.
It might be best that you don't have to know about this neck job thing.
Well, not me now. I do. Now I know. So, what you're saying is that a certain somebody is attracted to Mason Mount's neck.
Yes.
And that certain somebody is
Brexit.
Money!
No, I can't say I am. I can't say that I am. No.
Yeah, I don't even. That's been a running joke for the last week now or so. Every time he comes on, we end up just diverting the conversation to Mason Mount's neck.
Yeah,
but
we
I
scout
don't
our players now because of neck. That's how we scout our players.
Off neck, you ain't got the minerals for this club. It is what it is.
By the way, we're gonna start the preseason in Dublin. Do you reckon we're gonna get the deal before the preseason starts?
No,
should be.
What deal? Sorry, the Hakimi one or the
either Hakimi or Haaland.
No.
Either of those two.
No. When does our preseason start? Because obviously I know it's the Euros.
I think let's start the training
July.
July-ish.
I know it's July, but what date in July?
4th of July, I reckon.
It's early July. Okay.
Early July.
So half the players have still been in the Euros.
So it should be mid-July because Euros is on the 11th.
Well, the Premier League season starts on the 14th, doesn't it? So I suppose you'd get away with being a little bit later. Yeah, that's true. No, I don't think any deals are going to get done by then. You might get like a small one, but even then, I don't think the player's going to be there ready for the first week of pre-season. I think they're going to have to come in.
There is a potential as well that if any Chelsea players get to the final, they'll be gone till the 25th of July.
Yeah,
we don't have to worry about England.
Well, Italy we might. France we might.
Germany.
France.
Germany.
Hey, look, if England comes in first and they're playing one of Germany or Portugal, or even France could come in second, I do not fancy their chances against those teams.
England are absolutely awful.
I'll be real. I don't fancy our chances even if we finish second and have to play one of like Poland, Sweden, or Slovakia.
We finished. All we do is we finish second in the group, which is tactical. We then walk into France later on.
Yeah,
then we'd have to play Italy or Belgium or Germany.
I was going to say that top half of the bracket is the hardest.
You want to be down the bottom.
Yeah, the only hard team you'll have to face is Portugal or Germany.
Yeah. Other than that, it's like the Netherlands, the toughest team you
Netherlands, which defensively they are shockingly bad.
You've got to back yourself. You have to back yourself in that bottom half of the group.
So it's like even if we finish second, we'll have to face France, and then
you might as well. I mean, this is something I can talk about because I know a hell of a lot about this. You might as well go out. You might as well. Oh, shit, someone's talking in the background.
It's got the echo.
Sounds all right in a minute.
I don't know.
I think.
Not me.
Hello.
Testing.
Yeah,
What about now?
Hang on. Let's see if it's bloody Wayne.
Testing. Hello? Oh, is it Wayne? Oh, mate.
It's me.
Oh, it's
I'll
gone
go
now.
anyway, so I was about to say
No, it's
goodbye.
gone now, to be fair.
I'll go anyway, guys. So big up. Everyone smash the like button. Follow everyone on the socials. Follow obviously Craigo on his YouTube channel as well.
Thank you.
He does all the Euro stuff. And if you want to look more for NFL and other stuff, go on his other YouTube channel. And always please spam them comments and say happy birthday to Father from us. And big up everyone. And see you all soon.
Bless, bro.
Hello, Wayne. That's a nice little plug I wasn't expecting.
Your father had a birthday on Father's Day?
Not really.
Oh, my
So hang on. Sorry, is it your birthday today, Father?
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
Today or yesterday?
Not today.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday. I would sing happy birthday, but we'll get copyrighted.
Who's playing tonight?
At least
Who's playing tonight?
the thing is, yeah, it's a
Four
bad
games tonight.
timing anyway because everyone's at work, so I can't barely do much, literally.
That's a bummer.
Since I'm on a
You
holiday.
can get drunk on your own.
I'm not drunk on my own. Even that.
I said you could.
I did drunk last night. Though. Unbelievable.
You weren't on your own. You were on the stream yesterday.
Yeah.
Perfect time.
Perfect time.
We haven't spoken too much about Alexander Isak, so I wanted to ask, as a starting option, if we do end up going for him as an alternative, yes or no? I've already seen your one, Jesters. I prefer him as a bench option.
I'm in the middle.
If you give him a chance to grow into the team, I feel like he'd be great as a successor to Haaland or Lukaku. But as of right now, if we're going to rely on him at 21 years of age based off one performance in the Euros, that's when it really does start to feel like it's a bit 2017-ish. And he's a good striker, I won't lie, but I feel like you're asking too much responsibility of him right now to lead the line for Chelsea and bang goals immediately. I think at that age, not the right move. But as a bench option, I would take.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him
It's not
score
gonna
a goal
happen.
yet.
I haven't seen him as well. That's the
I
thing.
haven't seen him score a goal yet.
I need to see more of him actually playing for Real Sociedad. Like, I need to go back and watch him at Real Sociedad first.
Yeah. Did we have an Isak that played for Chelsea's youth academy at one point in time?
No. Did we?
Cast him back.
No.
What was that?
We've had a few. I mean, there's so many of them. There must have been someone that's called Isak that's played for our academy at some point.
Because when we started talking about him, I thought it was the Isak that came out of our academy. I was like, isn't he like 28 or 26?
I don't know, actually.
But it was a different one.
So,
Hear that.
He's
What else do you guys say in the
Chelsea.
comment section?
Yes,
Danny's
we did.
thinking that comes
Fucking
from-
hell.
If Grammy goes, it can literally be as a like bench.
No. He's right. We did. Jesus Christ. He's a defender though, and he's 25.
Okay.
So no.
Okay.
Thank you.
I was like,
I would
what?
start Isak maybe in the latter stages in December because we got that congestion fixtures coming up. If we do something,
Yeah.
I mean, if we're talking about him right now, does he offer a lot different to what Havertz is doing? Probably not.
No.
He's a bit tricky. He's another tricky player. That I mean, I need a goal scorer. Same thing. Same position
what
right
type
at
of
the
striker
moment.
he really is though? Is he?
I don't know.
What
He's
I'll
more
tell
of
you-
a center forward.
I haven't seen
Yeah.
enough of him to know. That's the thing. I would need more research done before I made it.
My instant thought on him, if you said to me right now, Chelsea were going to sign him or had signed him or whatever, I likelihood would be looking at probably loaning him out for a year to see what we've got and then bring him back in, which I know would be a very unpopular thing to do, which is why I can't think it's going to happen. But yeah,
Plus, he'd get bodied in the Premier League. He's not very. He doesn't have the neck size. Let's just go back to
needs a
that.
big neck.
He
Yeah,
needs a big neck. He doesn't have the neck.
Yeah, the Haaland neck. We need that Haaland neck.
I don't think he'll be good in the Premier League because like he plays the same as Tammy, but he has like the touch in it.
My
But like
concern
Tammy,
with Isak
Ta-
is it's like the Swedish Batshuayi again, 2017 one.
It's the flavor of the month. That's what it is. We saw him play good. He did some nice dribbling. So what?
No,
He
you
still
wanna
hasn't
talk
even
about-
scored yet.
You want to talk about flavour of the month? Someone's brought him up as Andre Silva. I can't be bothered.
Not Andre Silva.
Isak's basically fair of the month right now.
Don't-
Everyone's talking about him. He's having a semi-decent tournament, and everyone wants him at their club now because of it.
It's called
Apparently-
what I always call every fan reactionary. There's more reactionary fans in this day of football than there has ever been. Trust me. It's
Because they're
ridiculous.
not
Well,
knowledgeable enough. They
no,
think
I-
they are.
I think it's. I think.
Sorry,
that's-
Mr. J5 Defender.
I think it's going to be. But there's
What did
more
you say?
reactionary fans because they have them out there, so you can actually see that they're there.
No, but the thing, Jester is right in terms of, and I am guilty of this at times as well. It's just doing the right research on the player before making a statement or a
move.
comment, or understanding the context. That's the thing.
If you can,
Is there some
We're all
people
guilty
forget
at
about
times.
the guy's season prior to it. Like Lukaku's a good example of it. Lukaku's always scored goals, but when you look at him as an individual and a style of play and all the stinkers that he has had in his game, I'm talking about his control. We're talking about the way he, like he's a goal scorer, but his control, he goes missing in the game. If you don't play to his strengths, if the
Especially
system not works
against the
around
low
him,
block.
he
The thing that
struggles.
I would
But
say
people forget that.
to counteract that though is the 3 managers he played under at United. 2 are notorious for falling out with players, and the other one is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Who was
Van
Mourinho.
Gaal, was it?
Mourinho?
Van Gaal, Van
He's
Gaal
only
managed,
played for.
Van Gaal managed to fall out with the best striker in the world at the time when he was at Bayern Munich. Like, I don't know how. Genuinely have no fucking idea how.
Van Gaal, tell that with who again? No one knows.
Luca
Luca
Toni.
Toni.
When he was at Bayern, and at the time he was
Fantastic
one
player.
of the best strikers in the world, and he fell out with him.
Fantastic player.
But yeah, so and as well with Ollie, he had no idea how to coach him. He was playing him out of position, and he was vastly overweight. So you look at what he's done with Conte, where it's a manager who actually properly manages him, understands how to manage him, gave it a diet plan, made him trim down his weight, got him working on some things. You're now seeing more of a player when he was at Everton, when he actually was probably had his he probably scored more at United. I'm not entirely sure, but that's
As a
the time I
better
remember he had
player.
his- yeah.
But I'm
Yeah,
being
he's
told that
better
he's improved
player.
his game. He's improved his touch. He's improved
He
his
has.
movement.
There is still
And then
there
I
is
watched
still
him. I
obviously-
watched him for Belgium in the first half against who was it recently? Denmark, wasn't it? He
Yeah.
was shocking.
yes.
Yeah.
He was dropping stinkers. I was like, this guy, this doesn't look any different to Lukaku a couple of years ago. Like, what's
Yeah,
going
but
on?
there's a reason for that.
Ah.
Oh, man. Propaganda is
They haven't
real.
won one- you go on about
Like-
Turkey, but they haven't won one game.
We,
yet, so I don't know why you're
we
getting
all
so
know
excited.
that Haaland's a good player in it, but like, has he given us any proof that he can play against a low block? Because in the Bundesliga, they mostly playing like a high line.
I'd rather take my
That's
risk.
why
with
I've said
Haaland
don't
than Lukaku.
expect anything mad in his first season if he joins us.
I think he scored different types of goals though, which will give you an indication that he could play
has
against
the
a low block.
ability. Whereas like a
He has
Timo
the ability
Werner-
to adapt, but I think he'll struggle initially.
Yeah,
That's-
yeah.
what I was just
Everyone
saying,
does. You've got to adapt. You have to
Haaland, he has
adapt.
the
No,
ability.
I'm just saying for 150 million, they're going to expect him to hit the ground running. And I'm just saying for
Is
150
Haaland missing
million,
Timo
ain't going to
Werner's
happen.
chances last season? That's my
No,
question.
but I'd also say that
There you
Haaland.
But Haaland's also
he has-
missed more chances than Werner did last
Yeah, but he's
season.
had more
I'd say two,
chances.
I'd say one.
What I'd
Is
say
he-
though is always Haaland has the ability.
I need to check that. You might be
Yes,
correct.
yes.
You probably are correct on that one. Because you make more chances in Bundesliga anyway.
Mhm.
Artem's saying, can we talk about how Kai bodied Diaz? Which one?
He owns
Because
him.
there's plenty of
He
times
owns
over
Diaz,
the last
bro.
month that's happened.
No, that's
Here's the
he's talking
dog.
about.
Apparently, Diaz sent Kai Havertz a Father's Day card. That's what I heard.
We are clear. Let's go. Come on. Come
Eden
outside,
Hazard's-
Diaz, you pussy.
Eden
What'd you say,
Hazard's fine
Scott?
for that, man.
What were you saying, Scott?
I would say like the thing with what Haaland has that like Werner or even Lukaku has it, but I wouldn't say it's as good as Haaland. He has the ability to create goals out of nothing.
Yes.
Literally, like not even like there should be no chance he scores that, and he just creates a goal out of nothing. And
Yeah,
that's
some
where,
of the angles he scores at.
bro.
it
I
usually
go back
looks
to
looking-
like go and watch his first goal, the 4-2 loss against Bayern from this past season. Go and watch the first goal that they scored within like 2 minutes, and it's literally
Yeah.
just a speculative shot outside the box through someone's legs that he has no reason to score, but he just takes it because it's Haaland.
That's the thing about playing against a low block as well. Which is something that if you can't do it from midfield, you've got no hope. if you've got to, sometimes you've got to go direct, and if you shoot from outside the box against a low block, it can go in. At the moment, Kante and Jorginho aren't going to do that. So even if I know it would be unlikely, but even if it got to a point where you have to put Haaland outside the box to bang one in from distance, it's more likely to happen, and it shows that he could be used against a low block. But
no one in our team has the ability to shoot from range consistently.
Exactly.
It's so inconsistent. It's bad.
Yeah, completely agree.
It's so inconsistent. Kovacic
I thought
can't, Jorginho can't, Kante can't.
I thought Ziyech
could, but I don't
No, because
see
we're always looking
so.
for the perfect goal. That's why.
Exactly.
Every time we should shoot, we always try and play the ball to the wings and then whip the ball in when we should just blimmin' shoot. The amount of time I scream at the blimmin' TV saying shoot.
But it's what England have done the last 2 games. They always want to move the ball wide. The one goal we've scored at this tournament so far, we run straight up the middle of the pitch.
Yeah,
and people crucify you for doing it, but actually it works. It scored. England won the game 1-0. Done.
It's a good bit of movement in the midfield.
Exactly.
And guess what? The 2 players with the best bit of movement. If we want to play, the maddest thing, right? If we want to do what you just said, Ian, with England, the 2 best players on the wing with the best movement are Grealish and Sancho. One of which has played like 20 minutes, and one hasn't played a single minute of football. So either not focusing on the wings or play them.
Yeah, exactly.
Did Sasuke say that Sancho didn't have a lot of experience and say he was in a realistic option?
He said you need to. It was something like you need to. What did he said something stupid, because then you've got like Rice's mate. It was something about you've got to make sure they don't have too much too quick in terms of like how many minutes they have if it's their
Sancho?
first. Something like that. It was basically talking about it's his first international tournament, so you've got to ease him in. It's Rice's first international tournament. It's Phillips' first international tournament. It's Mings' first international tournament. Bellingham, he's 17 and has played more minutes. It's Grealish's first international tournament. It's
Mount, Chilwell's, Reece James's,
Neckman.
He don't play players based upon form. Let's be serious. Sterling shouldn't be in that team. Look at that neck.
The fact he's bringing Rashford on as well at striker when you got like
Rashford's no space in behind. What was he going to run into? It was ridiculous.
I was going to say Rashford's got one ability.
Yeah, I know.
Rashford's literally got one ability, and that's cut in and shoot. How are you going to cut in and shoot when you're playing centrally?
Did you see that graphic where there was 5 people that ended up on the left-hand side of the pitch, and everyone was like, "Oh, why did Reece James not go forward? You're all fucking to aim for." And he still created the most chances in that game with 2.
Yeah,
from right back, and I didn't even see him cross the halfway line. I'm sure
they do not understand what it is that Southgate is requiring them to do in games, and it's very clear and obvious. There's
no one.
No system.
I don't think he has any tactics. I don't think he understands what he's requiring from them.
It's annoying because I like him as a person, but tactically he's not good enough.
He's Ollie.
Not good enough.
Sounds like
he's literally Ollie. Like he's a nice enough guy, but when it comes to football, like. The fact that we're playing a 4-2-3-1, but Rice is playing as a centre back, which means Phillips is playing as a DM, which means Mount has to play as an 8 and not as a 10. It's surely just as a manager you should understand how to coach players to stay in their positions or to not drift about when it's not needed.
I said to you before about a Chelsea potentially playing a back 4 with Declan Rice dropping into a back 3, but then pushing the wing backs and pushing the full backs into wing backs. Where that's not what they want to do. They want to push Luke Shaw forward, and then Reece James just doesn't go anywhere because he's got no one to aim for. So it can't fucking work.
If they're going to do that, might as well play a back 3 and play with I think
the idea is just you can have a little bit more creativity in the picture. I think that was the idea, but
there's no creativity on that midfield right now.
Not from England, no.
No, there's not.
Not from Chelsea, to be fair.
The only one that was doing that was Trent. Before he got injured.
The English midfield are not that progressive with the ball as well, man. If they Declan Rice and
the one time we have progressed the ball on, it was Calvin Phillips running through the fucking middle of the pitch and tapping it over to fucking Sterling.
Is if you look at the players we have, we are a progressive midfield. They're just not being allowed. Like Mount's a progressive midfielder. Grealish is a progressive midfielder.
We've got runners. Yeah, our midfield up to our front 3 are all runners. Sterling's a runner. Rashford's a runner. The only one that's progressive with the ball in my eyes is Grealish and Sancho when he's on the pitch and maybe Foden. Yeah, they're your progressive players, but he doesn't play them. He plays all these
How-
people that run into space.
How the fuck did he take Foden off over Sterling? Sorry, in that game.
Nah, I don't know. Sterling's
Honestly,
good.
I'm not bullshitting. I wouldn't have even taken Sterling to the tournament based on form.
No, nor would I. Nor would
I
I.
wouldn't have done
I'd have
it.
taken him. I would have taken him because I don't think there were many better options. Excuse me, in that position, and for the experience of being at a tournament. But he should not be starting. Him and
But
Rashford should be.
what experience? Honestly, though, what experience has he got? He'd never scored. He'd never scored at a major tournament for England. And
I know
he's a
it's
forward.
more. It's more being in that position. Is more. It's like the same. Like with Trippier, if we weren't going to take Trent, I would have taken Trippier. But again, not to play. It's simply to have been in that situation before. So you
Two
ease the
card
new
tricks,
players in.
like Roy Keane said.
But it's
organised quiz nights.
You do need those types of players.
Yeah,
But
no, you do.
Just because you take them for experience, don't fucking play them all. Like,
And he gave Sterling the armband as well. I mean, when Kane went off, I'm just looking at Kane. Is Sterling going to be the one that's going to lead you to victory?
He was having a
No.
stinker.
Wait, hang on. He gave Sterling the armband when you have Aston Villa's captain on the pitch, when you have Leeds' captain on the Leeds' vice captain on the pitch,
West
Ham's vice captain on the pitch. Even though I don't rate him, you've got Mount who's worn the armband before. You've got
Stones who's played equally the same amount of games as Sterling.
Had the armband before, maybe not at City. Has he had it?
What about Pickford? Doesn't he wear the band as well?
No, I don't think he plays.
Seamus Coleman at Everton, but it's like
I would never have given it to Sterling.
armband
I would never have given it to Sterling.
Why has Chilwell done not to start for England? Chilwell. For the first game, he was playing Trippier. The reason was because he takes corners and free kicks.
He wasn't fit at all.
And the maddest thing is as well on that point is Mount's free kicks were better. So why is Trippier on the pitch? If he's on the pitch for free kicks and the guy can't take better than someone else, then
the reason that Trippier played at left back is because neither Luke Shaw or Chilwell were ready for him coming back from their European games. Chilwell I can understand. Luke Shaw I think was a little bit harsh, but they didn't even include Chilwell in the 23-man squad. He weren't ready.
I can't believe, to be honest. I can't believe.
Yeah, he weren't ready. I agree. He should start. I think if you want to go and win games, you've got to be positive. And I don't think Shaw's positive enough, and I definitely don't think Trippier's positive
I like
enough.
Chilwell crossing. I like when he crosses the ball. You know, Kane can get a lot of chances from there.
But the only thing about Kane, unfortunately, Kane and Shaw, is that the last game we played in the international window in March, I can't remember who we played. Either way, Kane scored from a Shaw cross.
Poland? Was it?
No,
we
we played them away. The game I'm thinking about is away.
Shaw is a better left centre back than he is a left back. And
yeah, I probably agree with that.
As a left back, if you're telling your fullbacks to stay back, then he works. But if you're talking as Ian said, where it's like Declan Rice is dropping deep, so the wing backs have to push on, it makes no sense to play Shaw.
It does, and that's why you play centre. It makes more sense. This way.
Hold on. I got some Johnny updates.
Oh Christ.
Here we go.
So here we go. If you don't think Mason Mount is the glue of our team, you don't know ball. Chelsea need to stop buying system players and just find 10 Mounts.
Wrong.
How can you not rate Mason Mount? Hakimi isn't starting over James, by the way.
Wrong.
James going to play right centre back and Hakim playing around there.
Hakimi and James can play in the same team. They can play in the same team.
No. I think he means at right wing back. That's what he's
right
on
wing
about.
back. Hakimi's better.
They're saying about playing over him, starting ahead of him, which means they both have to be a right wing back.
In the back four, there's debate, but in the back three,
back four, there's debate.
It's good to have competition and rotation anyway. I don't get it.
That's why I'm happy for Hakimi to come.
Like that's the thing with
everyone said, Reece James might not be able to continue his development. If Reece James is good enough, he will push Hakimi out the squad anyway. He'll play right centre back.
Look at the Euros. Look at the Euros right now. Everyone's talking about France because they can go and win it because they've got a massive squad depth. If you look at Portugal, they've got a great starting 11 and probably 3 subs. Every single person for France, you'd look at and go, "Oh, I tell you, they'd be tasty." Which is why they're being spoken about as being right up here, and Portugal aren't.
It's the same with City as well. Like
exactly the same thing.
They can interchange players. Laporte doesn't start for them for Christ's sake, and they're still looking at Ramos.
Mm-hmm.
This is Aymeric Laporte, who last season everyone would know. Was it last season? Season before? Everyone would have said
the season before.
But England have a lot of depth, but this incompetent manager can't even put on Sancho.
And with the depth thing as well, the only reason Shaw is in this England squad is because the season he had. He's had the season he had because he got competition from Alex Telles.
Yeah,
that's
Alex
why
Telles
he's in the England squad.
Alex Telles is a shocking defender, man. He's only attacking minded.
He can go forward.
He doesn't even play.
He doesn't play though. And speaking to United fans, like most games he has played in, he's actually done quite well defensively. He just doesn't play a lot. Like he barely plays.
For me, this Euro, Italy will win. That's my opinion. And what's wrong with England is that Southgate is playing safety. You know, the game of Scotland, McTominay was playing for defense. He could have just play Grealish, and then first half it could have been 2-0 to England. I think he played for safety. He plays for Rice and
Phillips.
Do you know what the really irritating thing was about this whole England-Scotland game? Is that from the 2018 World Cup, we scored 75% of our goals from set pieces, whether it be corners or it be free kicks or it be penalties. And we brought on Grealish, who was potentially going to win you those set pieces or whatever. And then we took off Kane, who's going to be one of the only real attacking option to really go and get your head on one of these things. So at the same time, you're thinking, oh, okay, well, great. Gareth Southgate is a shit manager tactically. He got the tactic right. The problem I've got is the fact that the tactic came to that in the first place. That was the first thing that you wanted to do, was try and go, oh yeah, let's score from set pieces. Because there was no way in hell we were fucking breaking
What I
them
didn't
down.
understand as well, though, is Grealish came on and I thought, okay, he's going to go left wing. He went centre mid and Mount went left wing.
And this is also the other thing as well. Where does Foden play?
Well, he's playing right wing.
He can play at the 10 or either wing.
So, well, no, okay, let me re-ask
he was
that.
playing on the right.
Let me. Where does he play for Manchester City?
On the left.
Right. Is it the right or the left?
On the left.
I think left
So
wing.
whether it be the left attacking midfielder or the left wing, he plays on the left-hand side. Why the fuck have you got him playing right wing then?
Sterling, that's why. Sterling.
Oh, sorry, but who did Sterling get dropped for?
Foden.
Was it? Sorry, for Man City. Did Sterling get dropped for Phil Foden? Was that how it worked out?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah,
Oh, okay, right. So what
When-
we're saying is Pep, arguably the greatest manager of all time for tactics, picked a 19, 20-year-old, 21-year-old over can't do fuck all Raheem Sterling. And apparently we ain't cottoned on to that. Right. Cool. Nice.
Southgate ain't
It's coming home, boys. Fucking it's coming home, boys, I tell you.
When Southgate gets sacked, when Southgate gets sacked by the FA, man, I'm telling the FA, please,
He won't be,
bring in
'cause
an
he's a yes
actual
man.
manager.
The earliest he gets sacked is after the next year's World Cup. That's the earliest he gets
England
sacked.
need a
He
manager
won't
with
get
passion.
sacked.
That's what they need. They need a manager
And
with
the other
passion.
thing is
Someone-
that I have realized all the teams in the Euro, even Wales, have a playing style. I think when I'm watching England, I feel like what's
don't
wrong
have
with
one.
this team now?
We
Yeah,
don't
they're
The only thing I'll say about Wales' playing style is they haven't got the ability to play another way, so they
Yeah.
have to play counter-attacking.
Robert Page is better manager than Gareth Southgate.
No,
Oh my god.
no,
He is.
no. It's not
The
because
right manager.
he's got one way of
It's
playing. He's
debatable,
got,
isn't it?
no, it's not. It's
Debatable.
honestly, it's not. I as much as I really do
All right.
want to hound Gareth Southgate,
Craig,
he's not a better
you
manager
switch
than
managers. Who does better with this England team?
Rob Pott.
Me.
You're going off Rob Page, who's been at one tournament, has only got one way of playing, and he's all just a bit of passion because he's a Welshman and proud. That's the logic you're going for, which is the exact same thing as Gareth Southgate.
Both as bad as each other.
Of course they are, but he's not better than him.
The
Not
thing
at
is,
all.
like just on that Scotland game, Scotland were a better team, especially in the second half.
Mhm.
Like they were closer to scoring than we were, and that's no offense to Scotland. That's Scotland. This team had fucking didn't they? Scott McTominay was in the team.
Yeah,
Third lowest ranked team in the competition.
Gilmore helped them. Gilmore.
Bro, their strike partnership was fucking Dykes, who plays for QPR, and I can't even remember who the other one was.
Shea Adams.
Fair enough.
Who should have started in the first game and didn't.
Wait, hey, when's the first game start today?
It's at 5 o'clock our time, so it's in half an hour.
There's 2 games at 5 and 2 games at 8.
And I've got to watch all 4 of them.
For me,
Apparently, Eden Hazard started for Belgium today. I watched his press conference.
And I'm not surprised because it's Finland. And everyone, again, I'll say it again. Everyone that doubted me when I said he won't start the big games and I got cussed out for it, fucked a lot of you.
Well, to be fair, he might from now on, actually.
He will from now on.
He won't finish the game, though.
No,
He didn't say that.
Carrasco's dropping stinkers at the moment.
And it's
bro.
the best replacement right now. let him
Carrasco's
get back to speed slowly and just get more confidence in himself. And he's getting more confident. I
They
think the
look
Finland
better.
game could be a good test.
Yeah, they look
I'm
better
not
with
worried
De
about
Bruyne
Eden
than
Hazard.
him.
He's not our player anymore.
No,
He's
I
at
want him to
Real
do well
Madrid.
there.
I know, but
He's a
just
legend,
let
he's
us
a
love
legend.
him.
Let
The
us
thing
love
is,
him, man.
I don't think he
That's
will.
my
Though.
Belgian baby, man.
I think their front three in going forward.
I
will be
said
De Bruyne,
it, innit?
Mertens, Lukaku. I don't think Hazard will start. I think
Lukaku!
Mertens and De Bruyne will start behind Lukaku.
And that will be a good lineup.
Yeah,
Carrasco
De Bruyne's
will
going to start for the rest.
Yeah.
He's
But I
starting.
think Mertens
He's
will
my
start ahead of Hazard.
You got to drop Mertens, and who's the other winger they've got?
Carrasco.
Yeah,
He's
to be
shit.
fair, he dog shit.
he's horrible.
Carrasco, fair enough, but then that's De Bruyne.
Yeah, he's good, but
That's De Bruyne. Then you've got to drop. The argument is Eden Hazard going to do more for you than Dries Mertens would?
And
In
I don't
90
think he
minutes,
will.
not over for 5 minutes, for 90 minutes. And I don't necessarily know if
Mertens
he will
scores
yet.
bangers, doesn't he? He does
I
score
do.
bangers.
I love
And
Mertens.
as well,
He's fantastic.
if De Bruyne, because I assume De Bruyne is not going to play like in the left or right forward, he'll play centrally. You then have to play Mertens and Lukaku as a two ahead of him.
Yes. You can't buy Hazard as a
Hazard's not
two.
going to play as the striker. He'll play off the wing, which doesn't
And-
work for De Bruyne as much.
Yep.
So we're saying they're going to stay in the back three.
Yeah,
they'll stay in the
been
back three. They ain't
for
got a choice.
ages. Yeah, they haven't got a choice.
Yeah.
Why not?
Well, you've got the
Oh, because they have no left back.
yeah. Doesn't exist.
They could play with
Yeah,
one
they-
DM though,
No,
and still get Hazard.
it's
in.
Thorgan Hazard
They've
plays.
got
there.
Thorgan Hazard as their wing
Yeah,
back,
no, so
isn't
they
he?
don't
And he-
actually have a left back in like.
I don't think so.
Castagna. Castagna
Yeah,
would be
Castagna
the
is
only
injured.
one, but he did his orbital.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I suck it. That is for sure.
Organ.
Do you not think this is the last chance for Belgium in terms of the golden generation,
Yeah.
or do you think
Yes.
there's more to come?
Wait, no, this is
World
pass.
Cup. World
It's
Cup.
pass.
No,
It's
defensively, they will never win anything.
No,
Because
they're
of
too
their-
slow. They're well too
It's
slow.
like-
at
Their defense, their best defender currently is probably Dedrick Boyata.
And he was crap.
What about Denier?
He's awful.
No, that
he was
guy
at
is
fault
crap.
for.
That
He
Denier
was
guy.
at fault for
Oh my
Denmark.
What happened to Toby?
He's
All
slow,
the zero,
slow and old.
He's past it. Vertonghen passed it.
Vertonghen,
Marlon
slow and old.
passed it. Like this is the problem. Defensively, they've got no one coming through to the point where
But
like,
midfield,
they can win anything.
Belgium's
never-
last
like-
chance.
Hazard could have a World
The last
Cup
World
if De Bruyne
Cup
didn't drop
was
his
their
disaster
last
class
chance.
against
And I'd be
France.
very tempted to take Martinez as England manager after Southgate's gone.
Sorry.
Because this golden generation, I tell you, this golden generation for Belgium that
Mancini.
clearly ain't going to do nothing. They are not going to be worth being a manager for the years to come. And
Martinez
Martinez
ain't
does
I
know
don't
the
want
Premier
Martinez.
League. I'd
Can I
be
just
more
say-
willing
can I
to
just
give
say
him
one
a
thing?
go than anyone
Give
else.
it to Frankie.
Oh
Can I
yeah,
just-
I
can I
mean,
just say-
yeah.
can I
Fine.
just say one
Frankie
thing?
Lampard over here. Yeah, I'll give it Frank, but
Can I just say one
no
thing?
thank
there's not that many
Thierry-
people about who want the England job, and I think he would probably
Just
take
go
it coming
for
from
the
international
wait,
football.
why
Give
does
it to
have to
Eddie
be?
Howe.
why
I'd
does
rather
it
Eddie
have
Howe
to-
have
wait,
Absolutely, I wanted to say that. Wallah. I wanted to say that Eddie Howe is better than this guy, Gareth Southgate.
Why does it have to be an English
Yeah, but
manager?
Arteta's
Why
better
can't it
than
just be a
Southgate.
manager with passion? Why can't it?
Because
Why can't we get like?
No,
a
to be fair, Southgate
someone
has
that-
got passion. He is a passion.
No,
merchant,
but someone
he is
that's
also a yes man.
someone that's one thing. So what's wrong with a Conte,
Arsene Wenger.
for
That's
example?
the only one. Arsene
so
Wenger.
what, hang on, what's
I
Eddie?
think what
Arsene
it is,
Wenger won
big
something?
thing is money.
But no transfer money if it's
There
international.
is no money to be spent in international football, which is what these
also,
people
it's-
want.
I don't think it's that. I completely forgot to say it. I think it was you, Ian, that said it. It's like who wants to manage this England team?
Yep, completely agree. When you've
Why
got
would
this
I get
talent,
it?
he might
Like
be interested.
any international manager we get is going to be on a level of a Sven-Goran Eriksson, where they're just a complete unknown, or they're like just past it. And
I got
can't-
one name.
only if we're talking about those level of managers, there are two that I want. Actually,
for
maybe one at
Justice.
this point.
So at least you can't throw anything at me. Jurgen Klinsmann.
Get out.
What
no,
about him?
no, get out.
Did he
We're
manage
doing
MLS
Klinsmann.
or something like that?
Did he fail with the US?
No, he didn't fail with the U.S. He got
Oh,
fired
what about-
because he
what-
came out
He's
against
shit.
MLS.
What about Thierry Henry? He works as assistant coach for Belgium.
No,
Thierry
they
Henry.
no.
Fuck.
Thierry
Henry.
Zinedine Zidane.
No,
Oh, that was
Maybe.
Yeah.
Klinsmann
But he
was.
wouldn't-
I think
he got
Klinsmann
one
was. He managed. Didn't he manage the German national team for a little bit?
Yes.
Who?
I think didn't he
Klinsmann
take
is-
out? Oh no,
Yeah.
did he? No. Well, Klinsmann stopped
I don't
playing
recall
late
it.
'90s, and then Joachim Löw's been in there for 15 years. So
Well, that's 2005.
yeah, I was going to say it's
Yeah,
got. It
six.
might have been before
If I'm
then. I'm
taking a
not too
foreign
sure.
manager,
but-
if I'm taking a foreign manager, I want him to come from He has to have played in the Premier League. He has to have played in the Premier League.
Can I throw a name out there?
He can't be some random foreign manager.
I've got a name. I don't know how people react to it. Also, he was Germany manager as well. Just aside,
he was.
Arsene Wenger.
Yeah,
no, he was one of them. But he was one of them.
He's a very good manager in terms of like nurturing the players. He's a very good manager in terms of management.
But we're talking about tactics because Southgate's good at nurturing players. He does it. We all have a good laugh. It doesn't mean we're going to win anything. You need a winner, and unfortunately, Wenger wasn't a winner for 10 years. And I don't think he's got the same drive for it.
But that's
it's not even a dig;
well.
it's just fact, unfortunately.
It's partly the board as well. The board didn't get the players that he wanted.
Yeah, but still, you lose it after a while. You do lose it. I mean, how old is he? 70 odd?
I don't even know. Honestly, there's just not a lot of options at this point, and it's just.
I heard him say it on TalkSport the other day. Mourinho at some point could be an international manager.
What about Steven Gerrard?
I don't even think I'd be massively against it.
I wouldn't.
What about Steven Gerrard?
No,
I'd take that.
Hakeem Low.
He's not tactical. He's not tactical.
No, I don't want Steven Gerrard, man. No way.
He's not a tactical manager.
Did you say Joachim Low? Somebody say Jurgen Low.
No.
No, please, no. You don't want him smelling crotch on camera.
It's not that. It's not that. It's the fact that this Germany team, like I know they did well against Portugal, but you can quite clearly see that Kimmich is not a right wing back.
Yeah,
anyone with two brains and sense, like two eyes, a brain and sense, can see he's a fucking midfielder. His best teams are as a midfielder. Stop playing him as a right wing back when you have a right wing back on the bench.
2004 is when Klinsmann went to was the Germany manager.
And they made the semi-final of the Euros.
Did they?
I think so. Or was it around the 16th? Oh, was it the quarter-final? I can't remember. Either way, I mean, they still don't look at that.
Rodgers.
They don't look at that and think it's a success.
I can't believe how
I'd probably take him.
I can't believe how the Netherlands are appointed Frank de Boer, man. He's an awful manager, man. I just don't see.
Yeah, but they're through and we're not at the moment. That's the thing.
No, because they had an easy group. Like, I just don't.
I mean, is it? You could say that we do as well. Just saying for the argument.
Graham Potter is not a bad shout. I mean, Tottenham should be looking at him for manager as well.
No,
because
it's reactionary.
No.
I'm not having.
What do you mean? No.
It's just because he's had one good season with Brighton. All of a sudden, he's touted to go and manage a top 6 team and the England squad. I don't think
we're going to season that they didn't get relegated. Is that the standard we're at now?
The thing is, though, like the thing with me with Potter is you can quite clearly see what the deficiencies are in that team. Like they play really good football, and the deficiency is they have no clinical striker.
Right, but they play a very good. They play a tactic that you can see how they want to play. Yeah. You have some coaches you can't even see how they want to play. Look at Manchester United; they're a top 16. They have a guy that's never won anything coaching them, and you cannot see a pattern of play. At least with Graham Potter, you can see a pattern of play.
For me, Brendan will be a great coach for England.
But he ain't going to come because there's no money in it. And that's the other thing as well. You need someone who's going
to come and manage England.
I just keep saying that when Southgate's getting like 15 million a year.
I know it's not going to happen here, but my ideal one would be Ralph Hasenhüttl.
There's still money in it,
from Southampton.
Rafa Benitez?
Ralph Hasenhüttl.
Oh, Ralph Hasenhüttl.
Again, I'd take that as well.
But he's not going to do
I'd
it.
take Rafa Benitez, actually. From a defensive system to a manager who just
Rafa Benitez.
Speaking of the one thing I will say on the Klinsmann thing is the one criticism he got while being Germany manager is he completely ignored defensive football and went all out attack. Which with this England team, it's kind of what we need, to be fair.
We can't defend.
Well, I'm going to go, everyone, because I've got to get my streams ready and everything. So
take care, Craig. Great to chat.
See you later, bro.
I got to go make money too, so.
Yeah, no
worries. Later
days.
So 2 hours. Make money. 2 hour stream though.
Yeah, we're back to it as usual, man. Maybe we'll be back streaming tomorrow as well. But anyone got any other final thoughts before we wrap up this stream?
I'm just waiting for the news that AC goes to Inter Milan for Hakimi. That's what I'm waiting.
You will be waiting for a long time for that, my guy.
Don't
hold your breath.
He's one of the players. They were saying the other day. He's one of the players. Him, Emerson, and Alonso.
I know, but we have a board with sense, so it won't be Christensen that goes at the very least.
Do you honestly think he's going to become the captain of Chelsea? Who said this? Someone said this to me. He's going to become captain at Chelsea.
I forgot who said it, but
do you remember?
I mean, it's an interesting prospect.
That is bollocks.
I might have been Johnny. Feels like a Johnny thing, but Yeah, maybe in like 3-4 years, he could be a potential captain. If Rudiger's not here, Jorginho isn't here, Aspi
Mason
isn't
Mount.
here. Could be
Mason.
Mount. Could be Christensen vice captain behind.
Christensen's not a
Mount.
leader, though, is he? Like, when you look at him, he's just not that.
He's not.
Yeah,
that
no,
type
it'd have
of
to be
player.
something that's built in the next few years. But I see Mount or James be as our future captains, if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
James was captain Chelsea before in the youth setups. So is Mason Mount, so I'd go for it. But Christensen, he's got the experience, and now he's won the Champions League as a key part of the squad. All he needs to do is take that in and then just have a bit more self-belief in himself. Everyone had the tummy means at the start of the season.
Guys,
Now they're the mud, build on it. Don't go back to the same old shit.
I want to ask you a question, all of you, okay? If you don't get Haaland and maybe Lukaku, which other striker will you take apart from those two?
None. Kane or none.
I'll take Kane, but
No point buying some dead mid-tier striker that isn't going to be the answer.
There
to our
isn't no one
problem.
available, is there? That's the problem. The
Yeah.
level's not there. It's a waste of money.
If it's not Kane, Lukaku, or Haaland, focus on Havertz.
Danny Ings?
Nah, not a big game player.
Hell no, with his 2 ACL injuries.
I'd honestly take someone like an Odsonne Edouard.
Odsonne Edouard.
Leicester
What
are
about
leaving him to
What about
focus
Jonathan
on...
David?
Who?
Jonathan David from Liverpool.
Maybe I'd need another year with David to be convinced because he had a poor start to the year. He had a really poor start to the season. So I'd need another year with Lille to be convinced.
Burak Yilmaz.
35-year-old bum, man.
What? The potato gem.
The potato man. You know.
What about do you rate Callum Wilson, the one who plays?
No.
I do, but again, it would be one of those things. Number one, injuries is a problem, but number two,
I'd rather have Patrick Bamford than Callum Wilson. Yes.
No, he can't finish his chances, man.
Yes.
For me, I would choose Wilson. It's only one season for Bamford.
What's wrong with Bamford?
I'm mad.
He's playing in a system that is like catered for him. It revolves around him. Like
Yeah, but at Chelsea, he'll get loads of chances created for him.
Yeah, no, but that's if we revolve the system around him, which I don't think we will. He'd have to be part of a system. I don't know if he could.
To be honest,
I like Icardi. Hell no, please no.
No, this guy.
No. One of the reasons why Tuchel left was because of the issues with getting Icardi in as opposed to his other striking options. He won't want Icardi. I don't really want Icardi. Nah. But I appreciate
the all the players need to hide their wives, man. If Icardi comes, all the players need to hide their wives.
Yeah, well, Icardi's just not good enough. Trust me.
Yeah, he ain't good enough.
He's a nuisance off the pitch.
What?
He's a nuisance off the pitch.
Yeah. He is.
And on the pitch, he isn't enough of a nuisance. So I'm good.
Yeah, I hear that.
For me, I think Timo Werner should not be a striker. After the chances he misses. For me, in my opinion, because he misses some chances which are unbelievable, to be honest.
Yeah, but the next season he could bury them. Then what?
But the coming season, all the best for him if he calm down, you know. But the chances he misses.
I don't think Timo Werner can be evaluated until he's had at least 2 seasons at Chelsea. So next season we'll be telling.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
All right. And if he misses 21 big chances again, then Fata, mate, you need to get rid of your client, bruv. He's gone.
Yeah, you need to have serious words if that's the case. Go on, Prime. What are you saying, bro?
No, I'm good. I'm good. Just been listening to the whole England stuff. Graham Potter would be terrible.
No.
Yeah, Ryan, I know you're in the comment section. That's your boy getting called out.
Graham Potter.
Whether or not he's going to be a great manager is yet to be determined. He still needs time. You can't bring someone up who was just in a relegation battle with Brighton. I don't care about his supposed style of football.
I agree.
So is that a point, bro? What relegation? Look at the football he was playing.
So what?
If you play good football, bro. If you
so okay, so
the table,
you So you want him to come to England. So if England finish third or fourth in their group, say in the next World Cup, he's managing. So long as you guys play great football, it doesn't matter. That's fine. Okay, cool. If that's what you're happy with, then fine. That shows. That shows your mentality as a nation, and that's fine. If that's what you're happy with. But me, like, for example, I'm Nigerian. I wouldn't be happy with just playing great football, but finishing third in my group and getting knocked out. That's not the mentality you need. But whatever, that's fine.
I'll be real. At the minute, we're seeing no style of football and still not doing shit all. So I'd just take anything at this point.
At the minute, you're saying no. At the minute, you're saying no style of football. You've been to 2 semi-finals in the past 2 tournaments.
We cornered our way to a semi-final. We basically cornered our way to a
semi-final. Wait, hold on. But how is it? How is it? Because if you want to try and break down and be negative about everything, for example, fine. Chelsea won the Champions League by beating a old Real Madrid team and a City team that's never been to a final before. And we beat Porto, who, they're not that great, let's be honest.
Let's be honest.
And hold on. And we beat an Atletico Madrid team that were dipping when we faced them.
No,
you want to be negative. But they barely scraped their league. And that's the thing. If people want to be negative, you can see the positives and negatives about everything.
He's not good enough.
Hold on. The positives can be we beat a strong Atletico Madrid team. We beat a Real Madrid that's won 3 Champions Leagues on the bounce 4 and 5 years. We beat a Man City team in a final that's supposed to be the best team in Europe. England, in the same way, you've got to 2 semi-finals. That's more than you've done in, I don't know, in 20 or 30 years. It's more than I've ever seen you guys do. And you can say, hold on. You can say, look at who we face, or you can talk about man management or whatever. I'm not saying this guy's brilliant or he's the answer, but to say that just bringing someone like Graham Potter, I think that is highly disrespectful.
I agree with that.
You should be looking for Conte, for example, or
that's what I said.
Maybe Brendan Rodgers. He's probably still needs time as well.
That's what I've said.
The thing is with the 2018 World Cup is the reason it's such a false image is we faced Panama. We faced Tunisia, where we required a last-minute winner to beat Tunisia. We then faced a Sweden side that were not good. Not good at all. They're not the Sweden we're seeing in this tournament. We faced a Colombia side that were not good, and we still needed penalties to win. We lost to a second-string Belgium side, and the first test we had was Croatia. We lost.
That's true. There you go.
That's why every team we beat, we should be beating with the players we have.
We just don't do it properly.
You should be beating. But here's the thing. We should be beating. I've seen England. I've been watching England my whole footballing life, because I'm a Chelsea fan, and I've seen like Lampard and Terry, whatever. They're all English, so like I watch England more or less every England game that I can try and actually watch. There are teams you guys have lost to that you supposedly should be beating. You've lost to the likes of Iceland before. You've got draws against the likes of Scotland and Wales and whatever. Like this whole thing of the last World Cup, did you not draw to Russia? I think so. This whole thing of teams we should be beating is a bit of a myth.
Why?
Isn't it?
They should be beating.
Wait, bro. Wait.
Because I've seen you fail. Because I've seen you fail to beat these teams that you should be beating.
Yeah, but their squad should be. That's the whole point. That's the squad that they have should be beating them. The problem they got is a manager that's not competent enough to get the best out of the players that we have.
These teams in the past doesn't mean because we're now beating them, it's still everything's all rosy. Because
I didn't say everything's all rosy.
No, I know, but we should be challenging with the top teams, and I never ever think we're ever going to challenge with them with this manager.
Okay,
with the manager.
Okay, but I didn't say that. Well, you can't speak in absolutes, but fine. I didn't say that you necessarily can. But my thing is, when you're saying the likes of Graham Potter, that's embarrassing.
No,
Graham Potter might turn out to be brilliant, but it's still yet to be determined. He still needs time. Because he hasn't proved that. Conte would be great. Rodgers probably still needs time as well.
At the moment, I would take anyone. because
but you can't say at the moment I'll take anyone, because if you say anyone and I name a League Two manager, you can say no.
No, we're not taking anyone.
Okay, let me
Just
talk. Okay, wait. With the game we were watching, Scotland versus England, England should be in the front foot for the first half.
Really?
They should have
The game. Hold on. The game I watched against Scotland, I saw the Scottish players give everything, and they died on that pitch. Because before the game, England fans kept telling me, "Oh, this is a derby. This is a derby. This is a derby." Don't we know that in derbies anything can happen? Even the underdogs can win. Don't we know that?
It's like any football game, though, isn't it, Prime? Let's be serious. But still doesn't mean that team shouldn't be good enough to beat what's in front of them. You know what I mean? Yeah. And if your manager can't get the best out of the individuals, and England have got the second or third best overall squad in Europe easily. When you look at their attackers, their bench. Well,
Tommy was playing centre back.
No, they do.
Yeah, and McTominay is really good when he plays for Scotland. He gives everything and he dies. Do you not understand? Yeah, but do you not understand the effect of, like, okay, Scotland is a lesser nation. Do you not understand the effect of when you're playing for a lesser nation, playing for your country, giving everything for the shirt and dying on that pitch? Do you not understand that effect?
Yeah, of course I get that.
Sometimes that is enough to get a result from a big nation.
But not every game, though, Prime, is it?
But
every game. Okay, then look at your players, because I saw on that England pitch, Harry Kane.
It's not just the players. If you're taking up Harry Kane for Rashford, it's not the players. How are you taking Harry Kane for Rashford? And that's not Rashford's preferred position.
He's man
That's the manager's fault.
Yeah, he's man managing.
Listen. I know. You can go at the manager all you want, and I'm not even saying he's necessarily perfect, but you also have to look at your players.
No, I agree.
You can't necessarily always blame the manager.
There's a huge mentality issue with England. Massive mentality issue. It's been the case for a very long time.
And to be like get Potter, but I think that's.
No one said that.
I think that's a bit dumb.
I wouldn't, but the reason I wouldn't mind is, like, if I had my druthers and if I had the choice of anyone, I wouldn't pick Graham Potter. The problem is this England job is not an enticing job. It's not an enticing job. So therefore, you're not going to get the top level managers. So then you've got to look at, okay, who's a young manager coming up, or who's someone that maybe has a style of play that we can do something with? Because someone like a Conte is not coming. A Brendan Rodgers isn't coming.
But they have a system. That's the difference. They understand what it is that they
Potter,
can get
I see a
out of this
system and a style of play that at least could lead to something, or could be something to build on. With Southgate, I see nothing. Absolutely nothing.
I agree.
Scott, before you get the best out of the player,
season a bit.
like for example, Grealish. For example, if you want Grealish the best out of him, first he should start, right? Even he's not starting the player. So how can England go far? That is the thing.
Wait, hold on. You want to build around Grealish?
Yeah.
No.
Or
it's weird. But it's weird because, again, I do watch England
Bless Yash.
For the past, is it 4 or 6 years or so, every tournament, it seems like you want to build around a different player. First, it was Raheem Sterling at the World Cup, I think, where you had Italy and Uruguay in your group. You wanted to build around Sterling.
The Uruguay one, 2014.
Hold on. So you played him 10 and you played Rooney left wing. And then next, it was building around Harry Kane, but that was the same season that I think Leicester won the league and Vardy scored how many goals?
The Sterling one was World Cup 2014.
Let me finish. And it was like, can we play Kane and Vardy together? Is it the way to get the best out of them, or what do we do? And last year, because the Euros was supposed to be last year, it was about Phil Foden should go out on loan so he can get game time, because we need to build this England team around him. And now all of a sudden, it's about building around Grealish. Like, what is your plan? What is your style? And I'm talking about the fans specifically, because this is what I hear from fans and from also pundits. So what exactly is your style? What is your plan?
We don't have one.
Do you not think the manager has one?
No.
Personally, I think most international teams build around one player. I think most international teams build around one player.
I see one.
I'd love to know what plan you see.
I've seen a cup since when, like, Gerrard and Lampard and them, they were the last to, like, retire from England and stuff. Was there not supposed to be a plan and a progression to integrate all these talented youngsters that were winning it on under 17s or whatever age group it was? So it was like the Foden and Mount, Sterling and Rashford or whatever, gradually grow and get to a point where the next World Cup that's coming, so I think next year, that is your supposed to be your target to do something. Which again, it looks like you're going along a pretty good path, because in the past 2 tournaments, it's been 2 semi-finals. It seemed like you could possibly finish second, which would be an easier bracket in terms of possibly getting to another semi-final, maybe getting to another final. So if you get to another semi-final, or even to a quarter-final in this tournament, whatever, depending on your draw, is that not still a good progression and building towards that World Cup, which is next year? Because even if you sack Southgate, which is fine, this plan that you're going along is still a really good plan. I don't think you should deviate from it. You should bring in a manager with a similar... bringing a manager that's adhering and is going to follow along that same plan. Because it is a pretty good plan.
I just want to see a style of play. I want to understand the things I'm seeing. I want to work out. I don't want to have to work out why he's taken Foden off instead of Sterling, who Foden was better. Move Sterling to right wing, which he doesn't play or hardly ever plays for City. To put Mount left wing, to put Grealish in centre mid. Then takes Harry Kane off to play Rashford at striker, despite the fact that Rashford hasn't played striker the entire year. And you've got DCL, who's in banging form, on the bench. I'm trying to work out why you're playing 2 DMs the entire tournament, but one of them's dropping as a centre-back, but then the wing-backs aren't pushing on, so we're playing a flat-back 5. So Mount has to drop back into the 8. Like, none of it makes sense. It's not a system. It's not a way of playing. And
For example, look at
I get that. Like, okay, for example, taking off, you said Foden, keeping on Sterling. Yeah. Because Sterling's an inside forward and he gets goals. I don't rate him because I don't think he's world class, but he is inside forward and he does get goals, which explains why Kane was dropping in deep, because it creates that space for Sterling to run into. You're saying taking off Kane and bring on Rashford. I'm assuming you're talking about specifically that Scotland game, because when you look at Scotland's defenders, barring Tierney, but again Tierney was bombing in forward. Scotland's 2 centre-backs, Hanley and Scott McTominay, are not fast and quick at all. So if you have someone like Rashford running at them, you could possibly have got something.
Cool.
Century, you can't run at them. You like to cut
Hold on. Stop interrupting, please.
Last point.
You're talking about Declan Rice dropping in to make it a 3. Well, again, that does make sense because of your fullbacks that will have to push and overlap. Mount dropping into centre mid. I don't like when Mount plays in centre mid, but again, it does make sense because you can't leave Phillips in midfield on his own.
No, I agree.
Again, all these things, I understand it. Whether or not I like it is different, but I do understand what's going on.
I'm glad someone does.
Love to hear that. But guys, we got to jump off anyway because the Euro games are about to kick off. Big up everyone that's locked in. Might be back tomorrow. Might be. I hope tomorrow's a better day as well. But big up everyone who's locked in. Smash the like and subscribe button. We are out. Up the chart.